All right, then, do y'all need any other breakout rooms or are you ready to go?
I think we're ready to proceed, Your Honor. What we basically, one of the reasons was the breakout room is we did have an adversary hearing in this case. Just to kind of let you know the circumstance of bringing this motion, I believe at the time of that adversary hearing, Mr. Cooper, if I'm not mistaken, was incarcerated at that particular time. Circumstances have changed substantially in his life, so we brought this hearing. It is not the intent of this motion to go relitigate the adversarial hearing, as I think the attorneys believe that would be collateral already decided by the court, but to appraise the court of the current situation involving Mr. Cooper, the children, and because so that we can have the court make a decision on placement at this particular point in time, Your Honor.
Okay, so I've seen your motion, and so I mean it's just paramount to placement hearing.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. All right, then, Barfield, this is your motion, so I'm gonna permit you to go first.
All righty. I will call Alvin Cooper.
Well, I need to call the case and.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so cause number one on the motion of the father, Alvin Cooper, to change the placement of the children. We are live streaming. I'm recording to the Zoom cloud as I don't have a court reporter. So if anybody needs a copy of that, let me know and we'll make it available. And of course, we are conducting this by Zoom under finding a good cause and agreement of the parties. So everybody I know in this proceeding today is spread out all over the panhandle. So appreciate everybody agreeing to do it by Zoom. Okay, then we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I am present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Venice Mincy standing in for Supervisor Jasmine DeVroe, and also with Hannah Kidd, who is also with St. Francis. All of them are St. Francis involved in this case.
Brooks Barfield representing Alvin Cooper, who is present.
Tracy Riley representing Amy Hernandez Cooper, who is also present.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent the children. I'm present ready.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Garfield.
All right. Now I'll call Mr. Alvin Cooper.
All right, Mr. Cooper, you'll unmute, please. And if you can get somewhere where you can kind of get your phone stationary where there's not a lot of motion, that helps just because it's sort of distracting. But and also it'll help you keep your volume consistent if you've got your device pretty much in front of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Barfield, you may proceed.
All right. Please state your name for the record.
Alvin Ray Cooper.
Mr. Cooper, you are the biological father to the children involved in this case. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And please tell me, now, I believe during the adversary hearing, were you incarcerated?
Yes, sir, I was.
Okay. Have your circumstances substantially and materially changed since the adversary hearing?
Yes, sir, it has.
And how have those circumstances changed? We'll limit this right now for this question in regards to where you were residing.
I was released back to home after the parole board decided that I hadn't committed any crime.
Okay. So at the time of the adversary hearing, you were being held on a blue warrant.
Yes, sir.
That has now been released.
Yes, sir.
And are you currently under any type of indictment or information in regards to anything involving this case?
No, sir. Just I'm underneath the. I do have a pending charge of resisting arrest. That's all I have.
Okay. And you have separate criminal legal counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay. And I am asking some leading questions initially. I understand that to just try to get some of this. So now, do you have a trial date set for the resisting arrest?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Now, the resisting arrest, did that have anything to do with your treatment of the children in this case?
No, sir, I did not.
Were the children present when that allegation supposedly occurred?
Yes, sir, they were in the house.
Okay. Do you know if they witnessed any violence or any type of behavior that would be traumatizing?
Your Honor,
No,
I'm
sir,
going to
no.
object to.
Let me rephrase.
All right, it's gonna
Speculation. I
rephrase.
get it. Let me ask you this question. Where were the children in relation when you were having an encounter with the police officer?
They were in the house.
Okay. Now, is that a misdemeanor charge?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. Currently, who lives in your home with you?
Me, my wife, and our daughters.
And could you please state their names, starting with your wife?
Amy Marie Hernandez Cooper, and our daughters,
How old are the children?
11 and 7 years old.
Okay. And currently, are you employed?
No, sir, I am not.
Okay. Are you seeking employment?
Yes, sir, I am.
And what employment are you seeking?
The cheese factory in Lubbock, Texas. However, reason why I haven't went to the application because I don't have a vehicle right now. My vehicle was impounded when I was arrested.
Okay. Are you taking steps to obtain that impounded vehicle?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do you have some means of transportation?
Yes, sir, I do.
And what is that means of transportation?
My aunt and uncle, and as well as my aunt, whenever I need a ride to go out of town.
Okay. Now, do you have the financial capability of taking care of the two children involved in this suit?
Yes, sir, I do.
And how do you have that financial ability?
I'm drawing unemployment right now, sir.
Okay. And from your former job?
Yes, sir, it is.
And what was your former job?
Shears Snacks in Lubbock, Texas, before it closed down in March of 2024.
Okay. Now, currently, are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol?
No, sir, I am not.
If the court were to order a drug test on you today, what would the results of that drug test be?
I would just be positive for marijuana.
Okay. And where is that? Delta 9, Delta 8?
Delta 8.
Okay. Now, where did you obtain that marijuana?
It was before I went to jail, sir.
Okay. So since you've gotten out of jail, how long were you in jail before I get to that?
111 days.
Okay. So have you used any type of substance, whether it be marijuana or alcohol, since you're released from jail?
No, sir, I have not.
When were you released from jail?
November the 4th.
Okay. If the court were to see fit to place the children in your home in this case, would you be able to abstain from the use of alcohol and or marijuana?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay. Now, in regards to your children, who would be supervising them when they would be at home?
Me and my wife, sir.
Okay. And are your children of school age?
Yes, sir, they are.
What and how and what grades are they in? And specify what child's in what grade.
Okay, Alethea, who's 11, she's in the 5th grade, and Elena, who's in 7th, she's in 1st grade.
And where do they go to school?
Elementary school.
Okay.
Go to Florida.
When is the last time you've had interaction with your children?
Last Wednesday, we had a 1-hour visit.
Currently, what is your visitation schedule?
1 hour a day every Wednesday.
Have you, since you've been out of jail, have you exercised your visits?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. Now, at this particular time, is your home safe, a safe environment for children in regards to furnishings and food and clothes and everything of that nature?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you have the ability to make sure that your children are fed, taken to school, stuff of that nature?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Medically, do you have the ability, if your children need doctor's care, do you have the ability to make sure they receive the health care that they may need?
Yes, sir. And may I say something? Alethea's in the 6th grade, not the 5th. I'm sorry.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, do you anticipate or are you asking the court to today place the children with you?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Do you believe there's anything at this particular time that would pose a danger to the children in your home?
No, sir, I do not.
Now, during the adversary hearing, it would have been impossible for the court to place the children with you due to your situation. Would you agree?
Yes, sir, I do agree.
Are you representing to the court, if the court would place the children with you, that you would cooperate with any type of safeguards that the court felt would be necessary to protect your children in your home?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cooper, what were you incarcerated for?
For allegedly assault, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest.
And do you remember testifying at the adversary hearing?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you remember testifying about marijuana being in a Cool Whip container that was on the coffee table of your home?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you said that they didn't have the right to look in that Cool Whip container, but they did. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, they did.
And there was marijuana in that container. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it was.
And your children were in the home at the time. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, they were.
Do you believe that that is a safe environment for children?
Yes, ma'am, because the marijuana wasn't out when the kids were here. I had just pulled it out of the car right before the officer arrived.
And isn't that the car that you drove your children to your house in?
No, ma'am, it was in my Ford, not the Impala. I had two vehicles, ma'am.
So when you testified that you don't have a vehicle because one got compounded, what happened to the other vehicle?
The other one was impounded also. I lost both vehicles when I went to jail, ma'am.
Is that because they both had drugs in them?
No, ma'am. Neither car had drugs in them.
But you testified that one had drugs in it.
One had marijuana. The car that I was getting a new transmission put in. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm curious. Okay, so when you loaded the girls up in your car, when you left the house where you had a fight with Amy, is that correct?
I didn't have a fight with Amy, but we was in the Impala, ma'am.
Would you agree with me that the police were called to the house that you were at previously with the girls?
Yes, ma'am. I agree because I don't have no information of why they showed up.
And is that why the police came to your house afterwards to talk to you?
No, ma'am. They came to arrest me for the alleged assault. They didn't come talk to me at all.
Okay, and that assault was alleged to have happened against Amy, is that correct?
That's correct.
And when you testified at the adversary hearing before, you did talk a little bit about that, is that correct?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Well, do you recall Miss Cooper talking about how her face hit the car door?
Yes, ma'am, I do recall that.
And your children were in the car at the time that happened, is that correct?
That's correct.
And so then you drove off with the children in your car.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And when you got to your house, what's the first thing you did?
Got the girls out of the car. We talked about school the next day, about their sleeping schedule being changed that week, getting ready for school. My oldest daughter went in our bedroom and was on her phone, and our youngest daughter, Elena, went to their bedroom and was watching TV in their bedroom. And I was in the living room watching TV.
And did you believe that the police were coming?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Then why did you take the drugs out of your car?
Out of my Ford? Because I
Yes.
was on the front porch smoking a cigarette, ma'am.
So you were smoking a marijuana cigarette?
No, ma'am, I was smoking a Marlboro menthol cigarette, ma'am.
So why did you go get your marijuana?
Because I was going to smoke outside if the cops hadn't arrived, ma'am.
So why did you take it inside?
I just set it on the table and then went back out and the officer pulled up.
And what made you think that your 11 and 7-year-old wouldn't get into the marijuana when you were outside with the police?
Because it wasn't in there present where they can reach it and they didn't know what was in the container, ma'am.
So do they know just not to open containers in your home?
pretty much our daughters know what to get and what not to get. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I place, if I place a cup of coffee on the table, they won't bother it because it's coffee. It's my coffee.
But you would agree with me that the department has a valid concern about you having drugs in the home with the girls.
No, ma'am, I do not.
Do you think it's safe for marijuana to be in the home with the girls?
It wasn't in the home with the girls, and I don't think, this is my opinion, Ms. Ferguson. I don't think marijuana is a drug, and it wasn't to amount where it would be considered a felony or even misdemeanor.
Well, there's a lot of things that can be harmful to children that are not felonies and misdemeanors to leave out. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Um, what about alcohol? Do you think it would be the same concern?
No, ma'am, but every time I walk into a store and we go get drinks, my kids do see alcohols in a separate case, and they don't go that way. They go get the drinks they need, take it to the counter, and we leave the store.
So the arrest for resisting arrest, what happened in you? Why are you still charged with resisting arrest? What are they alleging that you did?
According to the sheriff who filed the charges, he said because I wouldn't let him close the door until my aunt and uncle picked up our daughters. That's considered resisting arrest.
Okay, and your children did come out and talk to the officers while you were having that incident. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. They talked to the officer while I was in the house with the officer.
So they were aware that the police were there at your home?
Yes. Yes, sir. We asked the girls, did I assault my wife? And both girls stated, no, I did not.
And do you feel like that was a good choice to put them in that position?
I didn't put him in that position, ma'am. The cops put him in that position.
Well, did you ask the police to talk to your girls?
No, no, ma'am. I did not ask the police. I didn't get permission to talk to the girls, nor did I ask them to talk to the girls.
Well, isn't it true with the adversary? Didn't you testify that you had them come out and tell the police officers that you didn't assault your wife?
I called the girls to the living room and they told them what happened, and that was the end of it. They went back to the room. Yes, ma'am.
How many times have you been arrested?
For what reason? Or just arrest in general?
Since the girls have been alive. Since your girls have been born. How many times?
Offhand, maybe 5 times, and all the arrests has been disregarded. And it's all because of my parole, not because of something I've done.
So you have spent some time in jail throughout the time that you've been involved with the department. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I went to Safe P on a previous case that y'all had me on. I done that 6 months. That was regarding parole. And I worked the services and got the girls back. And since then, I've never been arrested until now, just previously. And that's been 5-6 years ago.
So do you believe that you could make different choices that didn't result in you getting arrested?
Ms. Ferguson, I didn't make bad choices to get arrested. I'm on parole, so therefore, according to parole, if someone said that I did something and they send it to the parole, I will be arrested, and then everything will be sorted out. That's just the nature of my parole, being on parole in the state of Texas.
Well, would you agree that that puts your girls at risk of seeing you get arrested?
No, because my conviction happened in 1988. I've been on parole before my daughters were born. The alleged crime that I committed in 88 was before my daughters were born. My daughters were born while I'm on parole. I got 3 years left on it, ma'am. As much as I can, I abide by my parole. I don't get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? But if someone tells an officer I did something, the officer come arrest me, there's nothing I can do about that, ma'am. I have to submit and let my parole work everything out just like they did.
Are you aware that in this case you were ordered? Well, let me ask you, how many previous cases have you had with the department?
One,
Well, you had one case, and how many years did that go?
it went for 4 years, I think, 3 or 4 years, something like that. I really don't know how long it went, but it went on a while.
And when that case closed and the children were reunified with you and the department was dismissed, how many months did it take for you to get involved again with the department on a family-based case?
I wasn't, ma'am. My wife was involved. I wasn't. I was just, CPS has never stated that I abused and neglected my kids in any way. I've never found finding that I abused and neglected my kids in any way, ma'am. I've never had a CPS directed towards me
Well,
or
let me stop you
started
there.
something like
Would
that.
you agree with me that the CPS does not make findings in cases? The court makes a finding.
And okay, if you say the court, I've only been involved with Judge Baker one time on one case, ma'am.
So when you were involved with a family-based case, and you testified to that at the adversary, do you remember talking about the family-based case and how your wife was supposed to go to rehab and then had relapsed?
Okay, yes, ma'am. That
Right.
face-based, I initiated that to get my wife clean.
So are you saying that it is only her fault?
I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm just saying that was the reason why we went to CPS. That's why I went to CPS, was to get my wife help.
Well, do you understand that the whole family is being offered services?
That I don't understand because I don't require services, because it was just to get my wife clean, Miss Ferguson. Not that she did anything wrong, or not that it was detrimental to our family, but it was harmful to our family for her to be testing positive. So therefore, we were trying to get her clean, and that was the only reason why I called to initiate the CPS hearing, the CPS case, to get involved.
So, but do you understand that part of that came with you being asked to do some services?
No, ma'am, I do not, because I didn't need any services, Miss Ferguson.
And do you
Okay.
understand that in this case, the court has ordered you to do some services?
In this case, no, ma'am, I have not been ordered to do any services. I went into status hearing, ma'am.
Do you believe because you weren't there that that order isn't valid?
No, ma'am, I didn't say the order wasn't valid, but I never received an order.
But you have received your service plan, is that correct?
Miss Harper brought it to me at the county jail. Yes, ma'am.
And so you are aware that you are being asked to do services?
I was referred services that I did not agree with. Yes, ma'am.
Have you done any of those services?
Other than, there was no actual specific service she ordered, other than things I've been doing already, ma'am.
Have you been to individual counseling?
No, ma'am.
Have you, and you do understand that individual counseling starts with you and Amy going to individual counseling and then eventually going to couples counseling to work on communication so that you don't have to call the department in the future when you need your wife to get clean. Do you
Okay.
understand that's the point of the services?
I understand the point of the couples services, and that's what we were asking for at the adversary hearing. But the individual counseling, we said I didn't need it because I wasn't under I'm sorry, excuse me. I wasn't under the concept that I was doing anything wrong other than being on parole, and I cannot change that, ma'am.
So if this court ordered you to go to individual counseling, would you do it?
Yes, ma'am, I sure will.
And then if your individual counselor recommended that you go to either couples counseling or family therapy, would you do that?
Yes, ma'am, I sure will. However, Ms. Ferguson, I believe I need individual counseling, ma'am. It just prolongs the girls being where they at instead of being at home.
Okay,
And-
I want to bench conference with the lawyers.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I think you lawyers, you can all go back to room 1 and I will join you in there. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, you can continue.
Your Honor, I'm waiting for Mr. Cooper.
Okay, there he is.
Mr. Cooper, have you taken a drug test?
No, ma'am, just with my parole. I took one Monday.
Have you been asked by the department to take a drug test?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
And did you take it when you were asked?
No, ma'am, I did not.
And do you understand that that is also part of your service plan?
Yes, ma'am.
So you knew that failure to take a drug test could be considered a positive drug test.
I didn't fail to take a drug test, ma'am. I just stated that I thought it was punitive for me to go do a hair follicle when everyone knows that I don't grow no hair on my head, and it would take me at least a week to grow my beard out so they can cut the hair off my beard to take the hair follicle, ma'am. That's the text I sent to Miss Harper and her supervisor.
Well, do you believe that that would be important information for the court to know?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Harper and the department could have gave that to the court. I sent a text to them. It was a group text.
Okay, Ms. Ferguson, I've got to interrupt one more time. I'm so sorry, but
Okay.
I've got Dorothy Collins in the waiting room. She's placement, isn't she?
No, Your Honor, she's not. She's family.
She's placement.
Oh,
She's the
Okay.
alternate placement.
All right. Is anybody planning? to call her?
she's not the current. Lisa, is she the current person that has placement of the children?
Yes, ma'am. Nora Collins.
Nora
Well,
Collins,
okay.
but not Dorothy Collins.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, we would.
Is she here because somebody's going to call her as a witness? Going. Okay, no. So I'm going to bring her in and tell her she can watch on YouTube. That's all I needed to know. Okay. Just a minute. So just to reiterate, I don't know who's sending all these folks the links for court, unless they're going to testify. No one but parties and their attorneys and department personnel actually participate in the Zoom. Everybody else can watch it out on YouTube.
Judge
But-
Beck, I think that was my fault. I was trying to send it to the YouTube channel, and I think I sent it the wrong way.
And Your Honor, I did speak to placement yesterday and I let her know to hop on YouTube. I didn't send her a link, but I did speak with placement yesterday.
Okay, well, she's not connected to audio. So if somebody would just maybe send her a message or something that.
Dorothy Collins is not placement. Nora Collins is placement. And I
Yeah.
have emailed Nora the link,
Right.
but Dorothy, no ma'am.
Yes, Judge, if you give me a second, I can tell her to go to YouTube channel because she wanted to watch the hearing. That's my aunt. She's the alternate placement. And I sent her the wrong link. I meant to send her to the YouTube channel, and I think I sent her here. If you allow me to step out, I would tell her to go to YouTube channel.
Is she there with you?
No, ma'am, she's not. She's at her house.
Okay.
I
That's-
can text her. I have her number.
All right, let Ms. Hooper do it so we can continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Hooper. All right, Ms. Ferguson, you may proceed. I'm very sorry to interrupt you.
And when we talk about services, Mr. Cooper, what services did you work in the past?
Service I worked in the past on a previous case that y'all had against me. I did BIP, I did individual, couple counseling.
And you did random drug testing, is that correct?
That's correct.
And so you are aware that those are the types of services you would be asked to do again when the court took when the department was granted managing conservatorship over your children.
My understanding was that was only temporary while I was incarcerated. It wasn't because I've neglected or abused my kids for any reason other than me being incarcerated. There was no finding that I abused, neglect my kids where my parental rights would be removed. And I don't think the judge ruled on that at that time.
Have you read the temporary order or the status order?
Yes, some I have.
And have you seen that the temporary order and the status order granted the department temporary managing conservatorship and ordered you to work services in this case?
I've seen that and also seen where the department was told that I would have supervised phone calls while I was in the county jail, and I never received those, ma'am. And I addressed that to Miss Harper each time she came to the county jail to see me, and her words was Judge Baker only ordered that I could write my kids. And that
Isn't it true that you did have calls on Amy's visits? Didn't you call Amy Cooper and have visits with your children that way?
I only because Miss Ferguson, only reason why I was able to talk to my girls was because after Miss Harper visited me at the county jail, I called my wife and I was requesting her to call her supervisor of the St. Francis to have Miss Harper removed because she would not allow me to talk to my kids. It just so happened when I called.
But Mr. Cooper, can I interrupt? You did have visits, right? Like while you were in jail, you had phone visits with your girls.
I had them according to because of me and my wife, not because of the department, ma'am.
Well, isn't that the solution that the department worked out, was that you would call during your wife's visitation so that you could both be monitored?
No, ma'am. Miss Harper never said anything like that. I just happened to call my wife on the day she was visiting the girls. It was just God given that I was blessed to call at that time at 4:30 when the girls just happened to be at the house. Not because Miss Harper, no, ma'am. Not because
And
of the
isn't it true
department.
that you called multiple times during Amy's visits? Did you not think that was set up?
No, ma'am, it wasn't set up because when we couldn't pay for the phone calls, I didn't get to talk to the girls on a Wednesday.
Okay, well, you're out now and you're having visits. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I am. And I requested that the girls give me more time, and Miss Harper refused.
And isn't that because you haven't worked any services?
No, ma'am, that's not because of any services, because I told, as I addressed it to her and I addressed it to my attorney, and I told her to contact my attorney that I was never given an order by the judge of taking any services, ma'am. I was not at a status hearing. So I never received those orders from the judge.
Are you
Or my
aware?
attorney.
Are you aware that during this case, your Amy has tested positive?
No, ma'am, she tested negative every time that I've been aware of it.
So you're not aware that she was positive for cocaine and meth?
From her first test, maybe, but since then I've been aware that she's been testing negative.
And she is due for a hair strand, is that correct?
She just took a hair strand, maybe, let me see, last week she took a drug test, a urinalysis, and 2 weeks before then, she took hair follicle.
So you said before that you called it both in the family-based case, which you worked for 18 months, is that correct?
No, that one I didn't call. That were called through I think the police department, and I wasn't ordered to do any services. My wife completed what the caseworker Wendy wanted her to do, and that case was eventually resolved.
Well, wasn't it closed because you didn't complete your services?
No, ma'am, I wasn't given any services during that plan, ma'am.
Just like you weren't given any services in this case?
No, ma'am, I wasn't. And it wouldn't even go to court. Matter of fact, on the previous one you referred to, if my recollection is correct, I wasn't ordered to do any services, just my wife. And that the caseworker that handled that, I think her name was Wendy Cates. She didn't order me to do anything, but she tested me once during the whole procedure, and it was the first time. And I told her I was tested positive for marijuana. She did a mouth swab.
So
And
how many? Isn't it true that case closed around May of 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
And didn't you promptly become involved with the department within a month after that case closed?
After discovering that my wife was under the influence of methamphetamine because of the people she's hanging around with, which she no longer hang around with them. Yes, ma'am. I reached out to Miss Cates and asked her, what should I do? We wrestled with it. We talked about it for maybe 2.5 weeks. And finally, she told me to do an intake. And that's what I did.
And did you want help for your family when you did that?
I wanted help from my wife to get clean because I know she can do better than what the people she was hanging around with.
But do you understand that it takes more than just getting clean?
Well, ma'am, if you stop and here in our life, you understand, my wife been doing great. She's a great mother. She takes care of the kids. She just got involved with the wrong people, and I was trying to get away from them. So that's the reason why we went that way. Other than that, ma'am, there's not a problem in my home. And it's not a danger, or there's no abuse or neglect of our kids.
Well, do you understand that the Texas Supreme Court defines abuse and neglect as putting children at risk?
Ms. Ferguson, I never put my kids at risk. And if you refer to me being on parole, there's nothing I can do about that, ma'am. And I do believe that you can't use my parole to say I'm a danger to my wife, my kids, because I'm not. Or my kids are at risk of being.
Do you believe it puts your kids at risk when you make choices that result in you going to jail?
Okay, that's correct.
Your Honor,
And I
I'm
don't
gonna
make
object. This horse has been beaten to death. It's been asked and answered multiple times.
Your Honor, I'm just responding to Mr. Cooper stating that he has not abused and neglected his children. I believe maybe he doesn't understand the definition of abuse and neglect.
Your Honor, you're muted.
Sorry.
Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of got a cough this morning. Okay. I'm overruling the objection. He may not understand the definition, but point is, Mr. Cooper, it'd be very helpful if you will listen to what question is asked of you and only answer that. That's the problem, Mr. Barfield. He's not directly answering the questions, and this will go a whole lot faster if he'll do that.
I understand. Mr. Cooper, if she asks you a yes or no question, answer it yes or no, please.
Yes, sir, I sure will.
Mr. Cooper, I'm just going to say it. You and I have been down this road many times before. In fact, you've testified more than some experts have testified. So I think by now you should understand, and this isn't funny. I don't mean that to be funny.
No, ma'am.
No, Your Honor, that's my fault. I laughed.
And I was just smiling.
I
'cause you're
understand.
good.
I understand that could have been taken in two contexts, but I want everybody to be clear. That was not intended to be funny.
Yes, ma'am.
You know how this works, Mr. Cooper, and I'm just not going to do this with you again and again and again. Listen to the question, answer the question. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Proceed, Ms. Ferguson.
I guess, Mr. Cooper, what I'm getting at is that you and Ms. Cooper are together as a couple. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. We're legally married.
You live in the same home.
Yes, ma'am. We do.
You want to parent together. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so the children would be returning to your home if they come home today.
That's correct.
And that would be you and Ms. Cooper living in that home.
Yes, ma'am.
And this court ordered services. What services have you or Ms. Cooper worked that you believe have changed your circumstances such that you wouldn't make the same choices today that you made in July?
My wife has done all her services. Myself, I have not violated the law, so I don't have to do anything to violate my parole. I see my parole officer once a month. Just took a UA. Next month, I will be on a 3 months where I report every 3 months and 1 month by phone calls. I'm on the least supervision on my parole now, ma'am.
And so when you say that Ms. Cooper has worked her services, are you aware that she didn't complete individual counseling such that she had recommendations for reunification?
I'm not aware of that, ma'am.
And do you understand that the department is asking both of you to see counselors so that you can eventually work as a couple in counseling so that you can work on communication so that you will not have an incident like you did in July?
I understand what the department is saying. It's just that the incident should never been happened because I should never been arrested, Ms. Ferguson. That's my take.
Do you believe that the only reason you're here today is because you were arrested?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So you don't believe that the incident that resulted in the police being called where your children were present and your wife's face hit the car door has anything to do with you being here today?
No, ma'am, because I've never assaulted my wife, and my wife stated, and so does the witness statements. That's a misdemeanor that I prefer not to get into with Miss Ferguson because it was before the court. But I'm just being honest, and I'm answering the question as best as I can.
So, but it doesn't matter if you got arrested for it or not. If your children were present when the two of you were fighting, do you agree with me that that's not something your children should have to see?
Ms. Ferguson, we was not fighting or arguing that night. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There was no fighting, no argument that night.
Then why did your wife say that her face hit the car door?
Because she was intoxicated, Ms. Ferguson.
So also, if she's intoxicated, is that something that your children shouldn't have to see?
No, ma'am. That's the reason why I had custody of the kids. And as you recall, that hearing was my hindsight. If I knew she had been drinking, I wouldn't have took the kids over to see her.
Mr. Cooper, you answered the question. You answered the question.
I'm sorry. Judge, you muted.
The question is, do you think that that is something that your children should see?
No,
That's-
ma'am.
That's, okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, move on, Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Your Honor. If this court orders you to take a hair strand drug test, will you do it?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
And if this court orders you to complete your service plan, will you do that?
Yes, ma'am, I would.
And if this court orders your wife to do services, will you support and encourage her to complete her services?
I've supported her ever since this incident happened before. Yes, ma'am, I will.
So what is it that you believe should happen to prevent you and Miss Cooper from having an incident like you had in July?
Ms. Ferguson, the incident should never have happened. I should never been arrested. There was no incident.
Listen to her question.
Yes, ma'am.
What can you do
Your
to
Honor, here I'm going to have to object to the
Okay.
form of the question. My client's position is that he did not commit a crime of assault. Those charges have been dismissed. And Ms. Ferguson is asking him to admit to a crime that has been dismissed. Therefore, I'm going to object to the form of the question that's assuming facts not in evidence, and also to the form of the question because I'm going to object as asked and answered. My client has stated on numerous occasions that he did not assault his wife, that he had no control of the police being called to his residence. And I think there's the disconnect, and why we keep going off on these rabbit trails is because Ms. Ferguson's wanting him to admit to a crime he didn't commit.
Your Honor, may I respond?
You can respond. I'm not really sure that's what the question was, but
I'm not asking him to admit the assault. I'm asking him to admit that they had a fight such that the police had to be called to the house and that she was intoxicated like he just testified to, and the police had to be called.
all right, rephrase your question in that manner, and then we'll proceed.
Mr. Cooper, in all the years that you've been involved with the department, have you learned anything in any of the services that you've worked or been offered that would lead you to believe that you could make a different choice other than having an altercation where the police have to show up?
Yes, ma'am. And I've done that, Ms. Ferguson. That's why the altercation did not happen. And why the police showed up, I cannot answer that question.
Okay. So if you can't answer that question, do you understand why the department is asking for you to work services so that you get to the point where you can answer that?
I mean, the question that I can't answer is why the police showed up because there's no incident. I've worked every service that Judge Baker has given me and that y'all ordered me to done. I've done it.
Objection non-responsive.
Okay, sustained.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Ms. Ferguson, it was a very lengthy question. So
I know. I'm sorry.
let's because we seem to have trouble staying on focus, let's keep our questions a little shorter.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cooper, since July, have you worked any services or done anything that you've learned from?
Yes, ma'am. I have. I learned a great deal, a lot, and I've worked my services. That's why the department has not been involved with me or our daughters since the last time I was in front of Judge Baker.
So I asked you since July of 2024. What have you learned?
I've learned that I pray more. Of course, I trust in God more, and I believe in support my wife in that manner where her decision that she makes doesn't involve anything that can bring the department back in our lives again.
So do you believe it's solely Amy's fault that the department is involved in your lives?
I do not believe that it's solely her fault because I could have done better with keep away from the people she was involved in. But other than that, ma'am, I think we're doing great as a family. Yes, ma'am.
Has Ms. Cooper attended any type of rehabilitation program to your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am. She's taking AANA and everything else, and her and Ms. Harper was working on while I was incarcerated.
So do you believe that the services she's worked on with Ms. Cooper have helped her?
Yes, ma'am. And also my wife made firm determination to herself and to us and the girls that she will not have another episode like this again. She regrets it.
Didn't she also regret it before?
Yes, ma'am, but we all human will make mistakes. Yes, ma'am, she does regret it. She regretted that time and she regretted it again.
Do you believe that she needs further services to make sure that she doesn't relapse in the future and put your family in the same situation?
No, not necessarily. It's just my opinion, Ms. Ferguson. No, not necessarily, because we're relying more and trusting in God than anything else. I think that's getting us through, and I think that's better for the girls.
And are you aware that the girls are also receiving therapy?
Yes, ma'am. I don't think it was necessary, but the department felt so.
And do you have any transportation to get them to therapy or doctor's appointments?
Yes, ma'am, I sure do. I have my aunt and my uncles and my other aunt as support, and I can use their vehicles if I need to do so until I get another vehicle.
Do you have any concerns about where the girls are currently placed?
No, ma'am. I thank God that my aunt and uncle was stepped up when I requested they to get the girls to keep them from going to Houston while I was incarcerated.
And do you have any concerns about their ability to take care of your girls while you complete your service plan?
I believe the girls should be home with us if there's any service plans you want me to conduct, ma'am.
And what assurances can you give to the court or otherwise that you would not that you've done anything that has changed your mindset such that you wouldn't make the same decisions today as you did in July?
Judge, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Riley?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Cooper, would you agree with me that Amy has at times done very well with her sobriety?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Okay, and when she works services and she's on a plan, she does great.
Yes, ma'am, she does.
And the last time that CPS was involved, there were some issues, and she was abusing drugs, right?
That's correct.
She got clean and she stayed clean. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And then she had a small relapse. Would you agree with that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And you recognize that in her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am, I did.
And knew that if she was using drugs, that was not healthy for the kids to be around.
Yes, ma'am, that is.
And so you
That's
took steps to try to get her back in treatment so that she could be the good mom you know she can be. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And so since this whole debacle happened, you've seen changes in Amy. Is that right?
That's correct.
She's back doing NA.
Yes, ma'am.
And she's doing AA.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know there was some discussions about testing, but to your knowledge, all of her urinalysis tests have been negative for all substances. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And how often would you say that you're around Amy in any given day?
Oh, right now, 24/7, ma'am. Other than when I go do, if a good friend asks me to come help him do a yard, I go there. Or if I have to go to the store, if I have to go to see my parole officer, or if I go visit my family, I'm around her 24/7.
Okay. And in that time, you're not seeing her abusing any drugs, correct?
No, ma'am.
And you haven't seen any
That's correct.
signs that would make you have any concerns about her being around the girls, right?
No, ma'am, I do not.
And if you did, based on your previous behavior, that's something you would tell the court, correct?
That's correct.
You would agree with me, you don't want the girls around Amy if she's using, right?
That's correct.
But you do understand that addiction can be a struggle, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that Amy is working on that and continues to want to work on that. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
All right. you and Amy have started communicating more and getting your own communications back. Is that right?
That's correct. We pray together. We wake up in the morning and we spend time with God, and we allow him to change us and work on us that way. And I think that's better, you know what I'm saying, because he doesn't make mistakes.
All right. And so you have no questions about the fact that if the girls were returned home, and you saw any signs that Amy was abusing drugs again, would you have any difficulty in removing her or making her leave the house?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right, pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Barfield? Oh, excuse me. I need to go Ms. Kincaid first. My apologies.
Thank you, Your Honor. What day were you released from jail?
November the 4th.
Okay, since November 4th, thank you. Since that release, have you drug tested for the department at all?
No, ma'am, they never asked until after they got word this hearing was being scheduled.
Okay, Mr. Cooper, this is just the classic example of what I'm talking about. Her question said, since then, have you drug screened for the department? That's a
No,
yes or no, not two more sentences.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Since your release, Ms. Cooper has been residing with you in the home, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Has the department come to see the home since you've been released?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you allowed them to go into the home?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. And have they given you any feedback as to anything you need to improve or change in the home?
No, ma'am, other than me and Ms. Harper didn't agree on the thing that she was, we talked about.
Okay. And are you aware since your release whether Ms. Cooper is drug screened for the department?
Yes, ma'am, she has.
Okay. And are you aware of the results of those drug screens?
Other than what she tells me, no, ma'am, I'm not. I don't see the results. Just what she showed me that she's asked
Okay,
Mr.
if you're not aware, then
Okay.
that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm just
No, ma'am.
asking you if you know, and if you don't, that's okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay. And originally in this case, I think we all understand that you called out of a concern, but for the safety of your children due to Ms. Cooper's use. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. But one way or the other, we've wound up here, and you were arrested and the children were removed from both of you. Is that correct?
I don't think they removed from me. I was just incarcerated. I think that's correct, ma'am. That's the way I see it.
Okay. And it would have been impossible for the children to be placed with you because you were incarcerated.
That's correct.
Okay. And do you see how the department may have some concerns about the children's safety if your relationship with Ms. Hernandez results in you becoming incarcerated?
No, ma'am, not necessarily.
Okay, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Now, Mr. Barfield, back to you.
Mr. Cooper, will you ensure that your children are not placed in an environment around drugs?
Yes, sir, I will.
Do you understand now that you have been ordered to work services?
I understand now. I just don't agree with it.
I don't care if you agree with it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand because there's an order to work services that, and here's why I'm not being mean to you, but here's why it doesn't matter if you agree or not. It's been ordered and you have to do it, kind of like your parole. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you willing to comply with the court's order?
Yes, sir, I am.
And if the children are placed with you, will you work the services that the court has ordered you to work?
Yes, sir.
Will you? Okay. All right. Pass the witness.
Ms. Ferguson?
No questions.
Okay. Ms. Riley, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Kincaid, anything further with this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then. Mr. Barfield?
I'd call Amy Cooper, please.
All right, Ms. Cooper, you need to unmute your device for me. Mr. Barfield,
Sorry, Judge.
we've been going for a while. I'm going to give everybody about a 5-minute break,
Yes, ma'am.
and then we'll get started with her.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Cooper, my understanding is you are residing with Mr. Cooper.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you understand that Mr. Cooper's asking for the children to be placed in the home?
Correct. I believe, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, do you believe that Mr. Cooper is a danger to your children?
No,
Why do you believe that?
he's just not, he's never been a danger to my children.
Okay. Do you believe that Mr. Cooper is under the influence of any type of hard narcotic?
No.
Does he
Not
use
at all.
those type of drugs?
I believe he used, oh, many years ago.
Within the past several years, 2 years, has he
No,
used
sir.
any type of hard drugs to your knowledge?
No, sir.
Okay. Does he excessively drink alcohol?
No, sir.
Does he abuse or neglect the children?
No, sir.
In other words, does he strike the children?
No, sir.
Does he yell at the children?
No,
Does he unfairly punish the children?
not at all.
When the children are in his custody, does he make sure the children are fed, clothed, and properly cared for?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you believe, in your opinion, does Mr. Cooper care about your children's well-being?
I do believe so, yes.
Does he care about your well-being?
I believe so, yes.
Does he care about the family's well-being?
Yes.
Do you believe Mr. Cooper is the type of person that will take steps to ensure his children's safety?
Yes.
Has he done so in the past?
Yes.
In fact, has he actually called CPS because of your behavior at times?
Correct.
Okay. Specifically drug use. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you believe he would continue those actions in the future if you were to relapse?
Yes, I do believe so.
And I guess if he had knowledge of your relapse.
Can you repeat the question, please, sir?
Yeah, that's a bad question. Do you believe if Mr. Cooper believed you were using cocaine, methamphetamine, or anything of that nature, he would take steps to protect the girls from being around that type of behavior?
Yes.
Is that because he's done so in the past or for any other reason?
Because of his recent actions in ensuring that my daughters will be safe from drugs.
Okay. Now, let's talk about you for a minute. Currently, are you under the influence of any narcotics, cocaine, methamphetamine, fentanyl, any type of hard narcotic?
No, sir.
When is the last time you've used?
Before I tested, a month before I tested, a month before we had our first hearing,
Okay.
court date, when
Okay.
this started, a month before.
Okay. All right. Now, in regards to your home, CPS has been in the home.
Yes.
Do you believe your home, and I'm talking structurally, people having places to stay, stuff like that, is a safe place for the children?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have food in the home?
we do.
Do the children have clothing in the home?
We do. We have,
You don't have to explain what.
okay.
If I want to ask that, I'll ask that. Just kind of like, we're trying to stay on track.
Okay.
In regards to, do the children have toys to play with?
Yes.
Okay. If the children were returned to the home, would you like to remain in the home?
If the children would be returned to the home, would I like to remain in the home? Yes.
Okay. However, what if the judge said, well, I'm going to return the children to Mr. Cooper, but I have concerns about Miss Cooper? Then what would your plan be?
Well, I would do whatever the judge would see fit.
Do you have any intent or to use hard substances?
No.
Currently, what are you doing to keep yourself on track in regards to managing your addiction?
I go to AA twice a day. NA twice a day. And I just randomly I'll just do a meeting. I'll go to meetings.
Okay. All right. Has Mr. Cooper assaulted you?
No,
Are there any domestic violence issues in the home that the judge needs to be concerned about?
no.
Okay. Do you think it would be in the best interest of the children if they were returned home for placement?
No concerns.
Okay. Now, do you understand if the children return, they're just placed in the home. This case is not over. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Do you think Mr. Cooper understands that, in your opinion?
Yes, I do.
Would you and Mr. Cooper, well, let me just ask about you. Would you continue to participate in individual and family and couples therapy?
I will.
And would you
Agree.
encourage Mr. Cooper to do so as well?
Yes.
Would you agree with me that Mr. Cooper feels that some of the services he's required to work are a bit unfair to him?
I believe so, yes.
Do you believe, though, he will work the services with you?
Yes. He has in the past.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
I'm sorry, Ms. Ferguson?
Sorry. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cooper, have you provided any documentation to the department that you've been attending AA?
I have.
And when was that? And what did you provide?
I provided emails. They send me links, and after the meetings, they'll send me confirmations.
And have you had a discussion with Ms. Hooper that that's sufficient?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you intoxicated in July, the night your husband got arrested?
Yes.
Were you using other substances at the time?
No.
Do you believe that your intoxication led to the incident?
Yes.
And so do you understand why you're being asked to address your sobriety and how to maintain your sobriety?
Can you repeat the question, please, ma'am?
Do you understand the services that you've been asked to work?
Asked to work, or if I've worked them?
Okay, let's talk about your individual therapy. You were discharged from that, is that correct?
No.
Who was
I
your
finished
therapist?
everything.
Who's your therapist?
My therapist was Melissa Lawson out of Amarillo.
Okay, are you aware that she said she couldn't make any further progress with you?
I am not aware of that.
Are you aware that you've been asked to see another counselor?
No.
If you're asked to see another counselor and you just said you would participate in counseling, will you see another counselor?
Yes.
Did you ever attend a rehabilitation program?
Yes, I did.
Where'd you go?
It was Melissa Lawson. It was a drug and counseling service.
Do you recall saying at the adversary that you were going to go to Lonesome Dove or something like that, Dove Tree?
Yes, I had volunteered to go. Well, actually, I found I was in the process of going to rehab when all this happened.
But you never went, is that correct?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I got intoxicated and all this happened.
What was the first part of your answer? Because you got,
I was drinking and I was in rehab and
okay, I don't, we need to cover all the ground that we did at the adversary. I mean, I know you went to rehab and then
Right.
you were gone from there like within the first day or two, and I know all that. You just said something in your answer that I didn't understand you. I just wanted you to repeat your answer.
okay. Well, so I was asked to go to rehab. The department never asked me to go to rehab. I had volunteered myself to go to rehab. And I set up to go to rehab. However, I got intoxicated that night, and this is the result of my action.
Your Honor, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Okay, I got the first part of her answer finally. So, which is I got intoxicated. Okay.
And so what is your understanding of the further services that you are being asked to work?
I have not been asked to do any more services. I completed all my services. I've completed counseling. I've completed everything. Everything y'all have asked me to do, I have completed.
Did you hear at the
not aware.
adversary that we talked
Go ahead.
about couples counseling or family therapy? Have you done any of that?
I was not aware that I was supposed to do couples counseling.
Well, weren't you asked to do individual counseling and then follow the recommendations further for your counselor? Would you agree with me that that's what your service plan says?
I no, I don't agree with you.
If your counselor said that there's no progress that they could make further with you, but you didn't get discharged for reunification, do you understand that?
I understand that she was not able to make that call to reunify. That would be up to the judge.
Do you understand that the department's goal is for you to work therapy as a couple eventually?
I understand.
And do you believe that your children should be reunified with you and Alvin in the home before you've even started couples therapy?
Yes,
And why is that?
because they're my children, and I have completed all my services.
What have you learned through your services?
What I've learned through my services is that there's consequences in using illegal substances and how it could alter your choices and actions.
Who's the biggest consequence? Who had the biggest consequence from your choices?
The biggest consequences of my choices was my children being removed from the home.
Do you think it also impacted your children to be present
No, my
while you
children
were
weren't present.
intoxicated?
My children weren't present. I mean, they had no intention I mean, they didn't know that I was gonna intoxicated. I mean, they weren't aware of that.
Do you think it affects your children when police come to your home?
Yes, I do.
Do you think it affects your children when there's marijuana in your home?
I have never been aware of that. Haven't been present in the home when there is marijuana in the home.
So do you believe that you are at the point where you can be open with the department to follow any type of safety plan if you're in the home?
Say again?
Can you be honest with the department?
Of course.
And is it honest to say that you're not aware that marijuana has been in your home?
Am I aware of what? I'm sorry.
Are you being honest when you say that you're not aware that marijuana was in your home?
Yes. I
Well, were you present at the adversary hearing when you heard your husband testify about it?
can't recall. I wasn't I really don't remember. I just remember having to do my services and doing what I have to do to get my children back and do whatever was necessary to get my kids back.
So is that why
My
you're
children.
working services, because it's necessary to get your kids back?
I've worked services.
And you've worked services in the family-based case too, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And before that, you worked services when you were before this court. Before that,
I don't know. I'm not understanding the time that you're trying to say, ma'am.
is
Like,
it fair to say that you've worked services for about 5 years?
No, no, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay, my apologies. Ms. Riley, I'm sorry. I've had some background noise, so I've had to mute today, and I'm not used to it. I typically do not mute at all, so my apologies.
Fine.
All right, Ms. Riley.
Okay, Amy, where'd you go? Is she gone?
Looks like we may have lost her. Fernandez.
I'm sorry, Judge. My phone was gonna die.
It's fine. All right, Ms. Riley, you may proceed.
Okay, so Amy, at one point back when we had the last hearing, is it fair to say that you were thinking that you would go to a drug rehab?
Yes.
Okay. When Alvin ended up staying in jail, did that change some of the financial problems for your family?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so did you have to change your decision to go to rehab so that you could make sure you guys kept your house?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what did you do in order to make sure that you could keep the house?
Well, I've had a job since 2014. I made sure that, we kept the house, even though Ms. Hopper told me to just lose the house. And I mean, she didn't exactly tell me in those words to leave. She just told me it'd be better to, it'd look better on the judge's eyes to go to rehab instead of keeping a house. But I believe that if I kept my home, my children would have a home to come back to. And it's the home that we've lived in for 10 years. So I didn't want to lose our home.
So was your concern, so is it fair to say that your concern was that if you went to rehab, you would not be working and you wouldn't be able to pay rent?
That's right.
All right. Did you work 2 jobs instead of just one in order to financially make do?
Yes.
Okay. Where's your first job that you worked at since 2014?
Well, out of Lubbock. It's a company out of Lubbock.
All right. And what do you do?
I go to patients' houses and I work for home health and hospice.
Okay. And then what's the second job that you took on just so that you could keep the house for the kids?
It's the same thing. I just picked up more clients.
Okay. You have stopped using any narcotics, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about the counseling because you were asked some questions about that. Tell me again, who was the counselor you were seeing?
The counselor was Melissa Lawson out of Amarillo.
Okay. Now, is it fair that Melissa Lawson basically told the department that she was unable to make a recommendation about reunification?
Correct.
Okay. Did you know when you started counseling with Melissa Lawson that she was going to ultimately say she couldn't make a recommendation?
Yes.
You knew that at the beginning.
Yes.
Okay. So at the very beginning of counseling, she told you, I'll never be able to make a recommendation.
She said, I don't make recommendations. That is up to the judge.
Okay. Did
Yeah,
anyone from the department tell you, or from St. Francis tell you, hey, Melissa Lawson's not the counselor that you should go to then, because we need a counselor that that gives us an opinion about reunification?
They could never find me a counselor. I found my own counselor. She's the one I
Okay,
found.
but Amy, and I'm sorry, Amy, I'm just gonna stop you. My question just is, did anyone from the department though tell you you need a different counselor? Miss Lawson's not gonna work for us.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did they order you to do rehab?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you completed since you ended with Melissa Lawson, has anybody made you a referral to a new counselor that they want you to go to?
No, ma'am.
Have you provided them the documentation when they've asked for it of you attending NA or AA meetings?
I believe so. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you drug tested every time they've asked you to drug test?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And your drug test results for all of your UAs have been negative. Is that correct?
All my UAs and my hair follicles since the first test.
Okay. So you've had now a second hair follicle?
Yes.
Okay. And that came back negative as well.
Correct. You can ask Ms. Hooper that. I mean, I haven't got the results yet.
But you believe your next hair follicle will either show nothing or it'll show a decrease in your substances?
Nothing.
Okay. In your visits with the girls, have there been any problems?
No. No problem at all.
Have you made all the visits that you've been allowed to make?
Yes.
Do you think that since Alvin, withdrawn, was it difficult for you when Alvin was in jail? Withdrawn, let me ask a better question. Was it difficult watching him be in jail during this time?
It was.
Okay. Was it difficult knowing that the girls had to go into placement because in your eyes, because Alvin was in jail unfairly?
Yes.
Do you believe that if you started to now withdrawn, I'm gonna say, was it a little bit difficult to find out that Alvin had basically turned you in for relapsing?
It was.
All right. But now as you look at it, do you feel like in the future, if you relapse, that Alvin would call again or make you leave the house?
I believe that he will. I mean, I can't say. I really don't know what he'll do in the future. But I believe that we are in a place where if I were ever to be in a situation like that, we could communicate to where I could get help or do something else. I mean, other than using.
If you felt like Alvin was a danger to the children, would you let him be around the kids?
I would not. No.
Okay. Do you believe that if you were a danger to the kids, that Alvin would let you be around the kids?
No.
Pass the witness.
Why am I? Where am I?
Ms. Kincaid?
Oh, thank you, Judge.
I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna try to stay unmuted, but if it gets too loud, then I'll have to mute. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cooper, have you the family or individual counseling aside, have you done a psychological evaluation?
I have.
With Dr. Baldwin?
Yes.
Were there any recommendations as a result of that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you completed an OSAR for the department?
The department was never able to get a hold of Ozar only because maybe they moved their office or there was nobody available at that location.
So since July, you've not been able to get an OSAR?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that that's part of your service plan?
I believe that Ozar is supposed to refer me to a drug counselor and see what I have to do, but because of we weren't able to get a hold of them, I had to find all the services myself regarding drug use, counseling, everything I found myself. I've done it.
Okay, so if you haven't completed an OSAR, you don't have a recommendation whether you need to go inpatient or do outpatient services.
I don't know. I mean, if you say so.
No, I'm asking you, you were never referred to inpatient or outpatient treatment for your meth and cocaine use.
No.
Okay, so. And it sounds like you're working, is that correct?
I am.
Okay, do you have transportation?
I do not.
Okay, how do you get to work?
I walk.
Okay. Now, if the children were to need medical care, they need to get to school, I mean, how would that be arranged?
My uncle sent us a car from Colorado, and it should be here Friday.
I'm sorry, you're saying you have an uncle in Colorado sending you a car?
Yes.
Okay. Have you allowed the department to come into your home?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If today the judge were to order the children be returned home, but you would have to leave the home, is that something that you would be willing to do?
Yes.
I'll pass witness.
Okay, then back to Mr. Barfield.
No further questions of this witness.
Okay, anybody else have any further questions?
No, Your Honor.
Hernandez?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Ferguson, any further questions?
Oh, no, Your Honor.
Okay, then, Mr. Barfield, any additional witnesses?
No, ma'am.
All right, do you rest?
I do so, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson?
Your Honor, I would call Lisa Hooper.
All right, Ms. Hooper, if you'll raise your right hand for me.
Miss Hooper, how are the girls doing?
They are doing wonderful.
What types of activities are they currently in?
They are, Elena was doing cheerleading until cheerleading season was kind of over. I believe one of them is playing basketball, which keeps them busy on the weekend. So, and they are also having counseling in the evening. So Miss Nora is keeping them quite busy.
And would all of those activities and services require transportation?
Yes.
I want to ask you, what services have you asked Miss Cooper to work?
Miss Cooper has been asked to attend counseling. If she tested positive for a drug test, that should be referred for an OSAR. To have monthly visits with the permanency specialist, to participate in a psychological evaluation.
Okay, let me stop you there and kind of go through some of these. So did she go to the psychological?
Yes, ma'am.
And what recommendations were made from that?
Just a moment. He recommended that she outline a workable plan for providing adequate care and supervision for the children, to continue individual counseling through St. Francis, to continue to participate in parenting classes, to have random drug testing, and to participate in AANA.
Okay, so parenting classes, has she done that?
Yes.
What about AANA? Have you received documentation that she's attending that?
I have not received documentation in at least 6 weeks. She states she has told me that she was going. She said she would send me information, but she hasn't. Now, initially, at the first of the case, she did, but she has not in a long while.
Would that be right around the time that Mr. Cooper got out of jail?
It was a little before Mr. Cooper got out of jail.
Okay. What about her counselor, Melissa Lawson? Did she request to see Melissa Lawson?
Yes, she did.
So that's something that you worked out at her request.
Correct.
And have you asked her or are you intending to ask her to go to a different counselor?
Yes.
And why is that?
Miss Lawson would not give us a recommendation of reunification of extended visitation hours. She would not provide us with any kind of recommendation. And we need that recommendation to move forward in the case.
And did she indicate that she had successfully completed her counseling, or just that she couldn't do any further sessions?
You talking about the counselor?
Yes.
She reported to me that she did not feel she could do anything else to help Miss Cooper.
So at this time, is the department asking for her to go to a different counselor and work towards going into couples counseling as soon as she establishes with an individual counselor?
Yes.
The OSAR, you had said that you were going to ask her to do an OSAR unless she had another positive drug test.
Well, throughout she had a positive at the first of the case. I have tried since then to contact OSAR multiple times, and they have not emailed me back. So that is the reason she has not had an OSAR for the whole case.
But do you believe that is something that maybe St. Francis should be ordered to do, since that is the main reason for the case?
Yes.
Okay. And are there alternatives to an OSAR if you can't get an OSAR set up?
We can ask the counselor to focus more on the drug use if there's not an OSAR available.
Okay. And is that something that you did ask Ms. Lawson to do?
Yes.
But she just got to the point where she felt like she couldn't do it.
Yes.
For Mr. Cooper, what have you asked him to do?
We have asked him to obtain a legal source of income, maintain residence, refrain from criminal activity, participate in all the services ordered by the court, maintain regular visits with the children, and maintain a drug-free lifestyle, and provide the department with all requested information, random drug testing on a monthly basis. If he does test positive, he would be asked to participate in an OSAR, and to actively participate in individual counseling and family counseling if recommended, and have face-to-face with his permanency specialist on a monthly basis.
Okay. Have you asked him to take a drug test?
Yes.
And did he go?
No.
Did he give you a reason for not going?
Throughout the text conversation, he said he did not feel he needed to do drug testing because the case was illegal and he should have his girls back by now.
Okay. Has he worked any of the services that you've asked him to do?
No.
What would be the primary ones that you would ask for him to focus on?
Drug testing monthly, and the parenting and the counseling, individual counseling initially, and then family counseling if recommended.
What changes have these parents made since the beginning of the case?
Amy has tested negative on her drug test. That's the biggest change that I have seen since she tested positive for drugs at the first of the case, but she has been negative since. I think that's the biggest change that I have seen.
What about their communication?
With me?
With the people who are trying to help them? How do they communicate?
We communicate via text, a group text. They are usually open to communication with us, with me. So they are good about communicating with us.
Do you have a safety concern for the girls to go home today?
Yes.
And what is that?
My concern is that the parents have not addressed the issue that started this to begin with. There has not been any parenting not any individual counseling with Mr. Cooper, and there has not been any family counseling with both of the parents together.
And do you believe that, well, okay, hold on, let me reword it. Has Mr. Cooper been cooperative at all with working services?
No.
And do you, in a typical case, would we recommend reunification before individual counseling was even underway?
No, ma'am.
And do you believe that individual counseling is necessary for both parents in order to make better choices for the peace and the the structure of a home, to make it a safe home environment?
Absolutely.
What choices would you want to see both parents work on in order for them to get to the point where the children can go home to a peaceful and emotionally safe environment?
I would want to see them focus on especially the family therapy, so they can learn to create a peaceful home for the girls, so where the girls don't worry about the children fighting. The children have mentioned that they do hear their parents fighting, and I think they need to figure out how to keep that from happening.
And are the girls in therapy?
Yes.
And are those some of the issues that they're working on in therapy?
Yes.
And do you believe that, the parents establishing with their individual therapists can work with the girls' therapist to work towards reunification? Is that what the department's plan is?
Yes.
And would you, when you're asking each parent to work on parenting, what specifically are you asking them to focus on in parenting?
To realize what damage can be done to a child when there is a toxic home, how it affects the children, and how to keep that from happening.
And when you say toxic home, can you kind of explain that?
Loud fighting and arguing between the parents, having to have the cops called to their home and have the children asked by the cops if they saw dad hit mom.
And is the goal for this case still reunification?
Yes.
And is it the hope of the department in St. Francis that the parents will work the services they've been ordered to work in order for that to happen?
Absolutely. Yes.
At this time, would you ask the court to continue the placement of the children until the parents have at least initiated their services?
Yes.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Judge, you're muted.
Okay, Ms. Cooper, you put something in the chat that's not appropriate. We take testimony. You don't need to offer up your thoughts or opinions about anything in that forum. That chat is not for that purpose. So everybody just disregard what.
And I'm sorry, Judge, I think she was trying to send me messages as she's been doing before, and I think that was an error.
Okay, all right,
So we apologize.
okay. Okay, Ms. Ferguson, I'm sorry. Anything further?
No, Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay. All right, Mr. Barfield.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Hooper, in regards to the counseling, would it be possible to place the children in the home while counseling is going on?
It's possible.
And you've been on the hearing the whole time. Did you hear my client testify under oath that he would be willing to willing to follow the court's order in regards to the counseling?
Yes, I heard that.
Okay. And in regards to this particular case, are you aware that I believe you testified that Miss Cooper has tested negative? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And it is in fact true that Mr. Cooper's actually himself called the department when he suspected that there was drug use in the home.
Is that a question or a statement?
Are you aware of that fact?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I am.
And in many homes, do couples argue?
Is that a question?
I said, do any couples argue in many
Oh.
homes?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes.
I understand. In fact, couples argue at times. Isn't that true?
Correct.
Okay. And many families not involved with CPS go to counseling, and the children are perfectly safe and fine in the home at that time. Isn't that a fact?
That's a fact.
Okay. Do you believe that if Mr. Cooper actually thought his children are in danger, he would leave them in that situation?
I'm unsure.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Riley?
And I'm sorry, I didn't hear the answer to that last question. Would you mind repeating that, Ms. Super?
I said I am unsure.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I just couldn't hear you. Okay, so just along the same lines, arguing does not create a neglectful home. Would you agree?
Yes.
And nor does loud fighting create a neglectful home, correct?
Correct.
And arguing doesn't create an abusive home, correct?
Sometimes.
Well, oh wait, so parents arguing can create an abusive home that would require them to be removed by CPS?
Possibly.
What kind of arguing do you think would rise to the level that a child would need to be removed from the home just because their parents are arguing?
Well, arguing could be escalated to something more than just arguing.
Well, right, but my question is arguing enough to be something, to be abusive? So I didn't talk about anything being raised up to, but just arguing, is that abusive?
No.
Okay. Now you don't have any control, no individual has control over whether or not someone else will call the police and have them show up at their house, right?
Correct.
Okay. So do you know who called the police in this case that you talked about where the police showed up and talked to the girls?
I am not sure.
Okay. Do you know that it wasn't Alvin that called the police?
I do not know that.
Well, he's testified that he did not call the police, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Miss Cooper has testified that she did not call the police, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if some third party just decided to call the police, neither Mr. Cooper or Mrs. Cooper can control that, right?
Correct.
I mean, because you testified that one of the things that you wanted for these children was for the parents to make decisions that didn't end with the police showing up at their house. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. But if some neighbor or someone else just decides to call the police every time they hear them arguing, they're not going to be able to control that, are they?
They cannot control the neighbor calling. Correct.
Right. And so then if the police chose to ask the girls, hey, did you see your parents, your dad hit your mom? Mr. Cooper doesn't control that, does he?
No.
And Miss Cooper certainly doesn't control whether or not they talk to the girls, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. That's a mischaracterization of facts that are in evidence.
Well, I'm not sure she was asking about this specific incident. I thought, it sounded to me like she's asking hypothetical. So I'm going to overrule.
And just to make it clear on this incident, even if Mr. Cooper said, hey, ask my kids what happened, you're aware that the police would fully have the right to say, no, we're not going to do that if they didn't think it was a good idea, right?
Correct.
I mean, Mr. Cooper does not control the police officers, right?
Correct.
And it's a police officer's job to talk to any potential witnesses to find out if a crime was committed, right?
Correct.
Okay. So there's nothing wrong with a police officer saying, hey, girls, what'd you see tonight, right?
No.
That's not abusive or neglectful just because the police talk to them.
Correct.
All right. Now, Ms. Cooper has tested negative on all of the UAs that you asked her to do, correct?
Correct.
She's always done every UA that you asked her to do.
Yes.
Okay. She's kept a job. Is that right?
Yes.
Her home is in good condition. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with the home itself that would prevent the girls from coming back there.
Correct.
All right. So is it fair to say that the only, and I'm not trying to mischaracterize whatever you're saying, but I got the sense from your direct that you really think the issue is these parents need to learn how to get along without fighting. Is that right?
That's part of it. Yes.
Okay. What's the other part?
long-term sobriety for Amy.
Got it. Okay, so they need to learn how to get along without fighting and then long-term sobriety.
Right.
Okay. And so how long would you expect for Ms. Hernandez Cooper to show you that she's been not using drugs before you think that's long of enough time that you would recommend that the girls come back to her?
The state usually looks for 6 months of sobriety.
Okay. Would you allow though for the opportunity for her to have supervised contact with the children since she has tested negative since August?
Can you repeat that, please?
I'm sorry, and I'm asking, and in fact, I'm going to withdraw that question. So the girls have both expressed that they would like to return home. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and they miss their dad. Is that right?
Yes.
And they miss their mom.
Yes.
All right. And so even though they're in a good placement, would you agree with me that withdrawn? I'm going to withdraw that too. Pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Kincaid?
Thank you, Your Honor. And following up regarding the arguing between the parents and a neighbor calling, would it be fair to say that maybe the reason a neighbor called is they're arguing so loud that they can hear it outside of the home?
Correct.
Okay. When is the last time Ms. Cooper did a hair follicle?
It has been recent. Hold on just a moment. She did her last hair follicle was November 16th.
Okay. Have you received those results?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you filed those results?
I know I emailed them out, but I don't know if I filed them.
Okay. Was there anything on the results that was concerning to you?
No.
Okay. So we have one clean hair follicle. Is that correct?
We had You are correct. That's the only hair follicle that has been negative.
Okay. But we have 3 negative UAs. Is that correct?
We had one in August. We had one in September. We had one in October. We had one in November, and we have one in December.
Okay. But her last positive was back in August. Is that correct? That was a positive hair follicle. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you believe that Ms. Cooper is in compliance with her service plan at this time?
No.
Okay. How is she not in compliance?
I think we need to do more counseling. We haven't got a recommendation from a counselor regarding reunification or additional visitation hours.
Okay.
We need that.
Okay. And with Mr. Cooper, would you say he is in compliance with the service plan?
No, he's not.
Okay. And in what ways is he not in compliance?
He hasn't started any of his services.
Okay.
Now, let me back up. I did give him a parenting packet while he was incarcerated, and I failed to ask him about the parenting packet last time I saw him, but he hasn't provided it back to me. So that's under the assumption he has not completed it. But he was provided a parenting packet while he was in jail.
Okay. So he may have done that. He may not have. You don't know.
Correct.
Okay.
He has not provided it to me.
Okay. Do you believe that it would be a danger to return the children to, or place the children with their parents today?
With both of their parents? Is that what you said?
Yes, they're residing in the home together. So do you believe it would be a danger to return the children and place them with their parents today?
Yes.
Do you think it would be contrary to their best interest for them to be returned to their parents today?
Yes.
And what is the reason for that?
I think the continued drug testing, more consistent drug testing, or more length of drug testing, and individual counseling for Mr. Cooper and family counseling for both of them together.
Thank you. I'll pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Ferguson?
Your Honor, no questions at this time.
Okay, all right. Does anybody else have any further questions for Ms. Hooper?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any additional witnesses?
Not at this time, Your Honor, from the department.
Does the department rest?
Yes.
All All right, Ms. Riley, do you rest or do you need to recall or call any additional witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we would rest.
All right, and Ms. Kincaid, any additional witnesses to call today?
No, Your Honor. I rest.
All right then, Ms. Kincaid, do you have a recommendation to the court?
Your Honor, the kids are in a great placement. I feel like they're safe where they are. I don't like how the case started where Mr. Cooper was trying to get help, and we wound up where we are today. But at this time, I think that we at least need to get some counseling under Mr. Cooper's belt, so that, you know, we could continue to work toward reunification. That would be my position today.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kincaid. Okay, I'm going to deny the motion for the change in placement. Find that there's a continuing danger to the children to return home today. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's current placement. The prior order of the court remains in full force and effect with respect to the services that were ordered under the family plan of service. If it is not in the family plan of service, I'm ordering today that there will be couples counseling as part of that service plan. So that is now a court order. I want parents to understand. We have been down this road several times, and you all have worked services a number of times, and there remains, in the court's opinion, there remains some unresolved volatility between the two of you. Now, whether that's because one parent is using and, you know, the other, you know, is upset about it. And, you know, I mean, this thing has gone, you know, it's gone both ways at who seems to be at fault at the moment. But the problem is that it's my biggest concern is the volatility in the home. Yes, I'm concerned about the drug use. I think Mr. Cooper behaved appropriately and in a defensive manner by reporting and mother's drug use. But, you know, how it always escalates between the two of you when you have a disagreement is, it isn't healthy. It isn't healthy for either one of you, but it's sure not healthy for the girls. So what I really, really want to see is I want to see you both complete your individual counseling and let us get some recommendations. I want y'all to engage in the couples counseling again. You know, y'all have done that for us before, and you really did make quite a bit of progress, you know, and that's when I sent the kids home to you. No, Mr. Cooper, no questions, no questions. That's when I sent the kids home to you because you had made a lot of progress. Maybe you guys just need to, even after we're out of this at some point, maybe the two of you need to just stay in couples counseling. Maybe it just needs to be a part of your, you know, every couple of weeks part of your life. I don't know. But that's what I really want to see. And of course, then Ms. Hernandez continued sobriety. So, you know,
Your Honor, may I ask a question?
Hang on just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you know, what I don't want to have happen, which is what has happened in the past, you know, I don't want to conclude this hearing and then hear Mr. Cooper shouting and yelling at Mrs. Cooper, such to the point that I had to call law enforcement to do a welfare check. Yeah, this is the volatility I'm talking about. So, you know, I want the two of you to calmly accept my decision. Don't start blaming each other. You know, you both bear your part in this thing.
No, Judge.
No, Mr. Cooper, I'm not even going to discuss it with you.
Your Honor, I think
I'm trying to give you all the benefit of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm trying to explain to you exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't have to do that. I can just rule and log off and you just have to live with it. I'm trying to tell you what I think is important.
Well,
But I really want to see, I want to see you all get deep into that counseling and deep into couples counseling and absolutely stay away from drugs. Mr. Cooper, you had marijuana in the home. Okay, if I had $1 for every time I heard, yeah, it's just pot, it's just marijuana, Judge, I would be the wealthiest woman in the state of Texas. And you know what? It's still illegal in the state of Texas. And you had it. I don't care whether you had it in the home. I don't care whether it was in your damn car. I don't care where it was. It was in your possession. That's partially why they took you to jail. But I don't care. It's illegal in Texas. So,
May I speak now, Judge?
no, you may not speak. You can talk with your attorney all day long when we conclude here, but I'm not arguing with you, Mr. Cooper. I've been down this road with you. We'll be here till 3:00, and I have a 2:30 appointment
I'm just going to
with,
say, Your Honor,
Judge Estevez. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm
Judge, I was-
done. I've explained to you why I'm ruling as I am,
Oh,
telling you
God.
what you need to do. Get it done, and we'll get out of your life.
well,
Trust
Judge, you shouldn't have been in
me,
my
we'll
life,
get out
Judge.
of your life. Okay,
You shouldn't
Mr.
you
Cooper, I'm
shouldn't have been
muting
in
you.
my life.
I'm muting you. All right. Everybody knows what my ruling is. So, Ms. Ferguson, if you will prepare the order, I will sign that. Just go do those things, and we will get out of your life.
Judge, may I,
Hopefully for the last time.
Judge, I'm sorry, but may I be heard briefly just because my client asked me to make this request and I know it may not change Your Honor's ruling, but I would just like to make it on the record so that I can tell her that so that she knows that I did so.
Go right ahead.
She is willing to leave the home and not live there if that is an issue for Your Honor and if Your Honor would consider returning the
I could have already ordered her out of the household as a perpetrator. I haven't done that because I think it is overall more disruptive to the family, and I think it will prolong getting the children back in the home.
And
So
thank you. I told her that, Your Honor, but I just wanted to make that request. Thank you.
I could have ordered her out of the home. I want her to understand that. But I think it will end up taking us longer. And I think that's more disruptive to the children. And that's why I did not order her out of the home.
Well, Judge, don't you think it disrupted the kids not being home?
Your Honor,
This
procedurally,
isn't a bargaining session, Mr. Cooper. It's done. All right, Mr. Barfield, you have a question?
I do, Your Honor. Procedurally, I know the nature of this hearing. I'm just going to ask, I think maybe it's one of the things Mr. Cooper might want to ask. Currently, he's getting visitation, and I don't know if I can do this procedurally, but I'm going to do it anyway. If Mr. Cooper gets his services scheduled, could we do something about more than 1 hour a week in visitation, since the girls have expressed their desire to be back in the home and be around their father more? That's all I'm asking. I don't know if we can do it procedurally in this deal. That's not what the motion was. I understand that.
No, if he will get started on stuff.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
I think that's in the best interest of the children.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Judge.
I'll go ahead and order that we need to increase the visitation because I think that's what's best for these children. So and they're placed with family. So, if is placement willing to monitor and supervise any visitation, Ms. Ferguson, do we know that answer to that question?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
If they're not, okay, thank you, Ms. Hooper. All right, so that rules that out. So let's go to 2 hours a week. But Mr. Cooper, you better get started on stuff because I can take it away just as quickly as I've given it.
Your Honor, if I make
No, sir.
log off.
No, I'm taking attorneys. I am taking attorneys' questions because that may bear on the preparation of the court order.
Well, I think my attorney needs
No,
to.
sir. No, sir.
Well, before you log off, can I go to the log
Mr.
out? Before you log off, can I go to my log out room, talk to my attorney so he can address something with you, please, ma'am, before you log off?
No, we're done. You can talk with your attorney, but this is my ruling for today. We will have our next hearing in not too many weeks, January 8th at 1
That's through the
p.m.
holidays. That's through the holidays. You take our girls through the holidays.
January 8th,
Can you appeal
2025
your
at 1
decision?
p.m. Mr.
Can I
Cooper,
appeal your decision today?
Mr. Cooper, if you will just be quiet for a minute, I'm going to address the holiday. Ms. Hooper, I would like for parents to have some quality time with the children as close to Christmas as possible. I don't know what.
Can I appeal your decision?
Additional hours or what does that mean?
I would just like for them to have a visit as close to the actual Christmas holiday as possible.
The 2-hour visit.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yes.
placements plans are, if they plan to be out of town. So, as close as that's feasible. And I'll do you one better. I'll give him 3 hours for a Christmas visit.
And that's for both parents, correct?
That's for both parents.
Okay, thank you.
Can we appeal your decision, Judge?
You can talk to your lawyer about that. All right, then. Thank you all very much. I'll see you back January 8th of 2025 at 1:00. Our business will be done. But Rachel will be on and she'll probably get everything started up for me in case I'm a minute or
I would
two.
like to appeal your decision.
Okay,
today,
thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank y'all.
You have no reason to have our girls. You have no reason.
Ms. Ferguson.
Your Honor, we are ready for the hearing. I apologize. We had some administrative and housekeeping matters. And we're ready. I just want to let the court know we're ready to do a formal style hearing for this permanency hearing.
It's my understanding that Mr. Barfield has filed a motion to be allowed to withdraw. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to take that up now or after?
Yes. No, my client has created a conflict with me. I can no longer represent him.
Okay.
And I can state the grounds why. He has indicated to me he's filed a formal complaint against me with the State Bar of Texas. Therefore, he's created a conflict to which I cannot overcome. And I also filed it attached with my motion. He was urging me to file pleadings to which I indicated to him were not appropriate. He did not agree with that, and he requested that if I wasn't going to file that pleading, that I get off the case. And so I'm withdrawing. I feel I have to withdraw at this point because any complaint with the State Bar has now created a conflict to where he would actually probably waive his attorney-client privilege, and I don't think that would benefit him or in any legal proceeding. In addition, I just don't feel that and just for the court's knowledge, this is the first time I've ever had to file a motion to withdraw in a CPS case in probably 20 years. So that should tell you I did not include all the communications with my motion that I've had with Mr. Cooper because I did not want to reveal potential attorney-client confidential communications. But now based upon the position I've been put in, I literally cannot represent him anymore.
Have you verified with the bar that a complaint's been filed?
I have not had a chance to do that, Judge. I was preparing for a murder trial, and that just kind of went away Monday. He's indicated to me in multiple communications he's filed a complaint with the State Bar. And with that being said, Judge, I'll just be honest with you. If a client threatens me with the State Bar, I'm not going to tolerate that. I've done this too long, and I'm not going to put up with that client.
Thank you. Mr. Cooper, have you filed a complaint with the bar? You need to unmute, sir.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I have exercised my rights to file a grievance against Mr. Barfield regarding the fact that I haven't spoken to him.
Sir, I don't need to know the reasons why. You have actually filed a grievance with the Bar Association of Texas. Is that correct? Yes?
That's correct.
Okay. Have you ever filled out an affidavit of indigency for this court? Have you ever been sent one?
No, ma'am. When he was appointed to me, I was incarcerated in the Hale County Jail.
Okay. Well, that makes you indigent until you get out and prove that you've got a job. Do you have a job, sir?
No, ma'am. I do not have a job.
And what is your income? How do you have income?
Unemployment.
Okay. So you are actively seeking a job if you're getting unemployment, though. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So I need you, by law, I need you to fill out this document that your caseworker will be bringing to you or sending to you today, and should have been filled out by you anyway. It's an affidavit that says whether you're eligible for a court-appointed attorney or not. At the time that the case started, you were, but now you may not be. Okay.
My objection to that, Your Honor, is why wait to the day to file that when this was discussed 30 days ago?
I don't know, sir. I am sitting here for Judge Baker today. She had a family situation. So I don't know the reason for that. But by filing with the State Bar of Texas, you basically have knocked out even trying to remedy Mr. Barfield to remain your attorney. I do have to grant him to remove from your case. Are
That's,
you,
that's fine with me.
are you ready to represent yourself, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay. Have you gone out and attempted to hire an attorney?
Not for these proceedings, no, ma'am, I have not, because I just got the motion this morning from Mr. Barfield wanting to withdraw.
Okay. Can you hire an attorney?
At the present time, no, ma'am, I cannot.
Okay. Well, the law requires that if the department is seeking to terminate your parental rights, that if you're indigent, that you have an attorney. So at this point in time, it's my understanding, Ms. Ferguson, correct me if I'm wrong, that the plan at this time is to return the children. Is that?
Your Honor, that is the current permanency plan, but we do have, I mean, obviously, you know, we have a concurrent plan as well.
Right, right. Well, you and I both know, and all the attorneys know, that Mr. Barfield, if he's had a formal complaint filed on him, cannot continue to represent this gentleman. So at this point in time, Mr. Barfield, I will grant your request solely because of the complaint being filed. And sorry that had to happen. That is something that no attorney likes to see. And so, Mr. Cooper, today you will represent yourself. And I need to make sure that you understand, sir, that anything that you say could be used against you in a court of any criminal action. So I mean, that's why one of the reasons that you have an attorney is to make sure that you don't incriminate yourself. So if there's something that pops up, I will try to catch it so that you don't do that to yourself. Okay. I do need you to fill out the form as to whether you're indigent or not. I do need you to basically maintain decorum. If you're going to represent yourself, you're acting as your own attorney. If you begin to act inappropriately, I will have you removed from the hearing. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Mr. Barfield, anything else from you?
No, Judge, just that it's my understanding that this is being recorded as opposed to being transcribed by
Right.
court reporter.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to need a copy. I can request that from Rachel. I'm going to want to probably get a copy of this recording.
Right. So Rachel will definitely get that to you, sir.
Absolutely. So I can show that I hadn't done anything wrong. So.
Oh, yes.
Y'all have a wonderful day.
If you have anything from his file that you need to send to him, please do that at his last known address.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, we are ready now then. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to call
Pamela Ferguson, Regional Attorney representing the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. I'm present and ready with Permanency Specialist Lisa Hooper and Supervisor Jasmine Duvreau from St. Francis Ministries.
Thank you.
Tracy Riley, I represent the mother in this case, Amy Hernandez, and I am ready, and so is my client, and we are ready to proceed today.
Thank you.
Savannah Kincaid, I represent the children. I'm present and ready.
Thank you. And I'll also note that the father, Mr. Cooper, is present representing himself in today's hearing for purposes that were discussed prior to calling this hearing. All right, Ms. Ferguson.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Lisa Hooper. Have you filed a report with the court?
Yes.
And do you have any updates since the court report was filed?
I do, a couple.
Okay. And so let me go ahead and ask you some questions, and then at the end I'll ask you what your updates are if we haven't already covered them. Is that okay?
Yes.
How are the children doing?
The children are doing wonderful. They are excited about school. They love going to school. Elena missed a couple of days because she was sick right before the Christmas break, but that is the first time they have missed school this all last semester, and they are glad they're not missing school. They love going to school. So they're both healthy now. So they're doing wonderful.
Where are they currently placed?
They are placed in a kinship home in Florida.
And the kinship home, is that a relative?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose relative is it?
It is Alvin's aunt.
Okay. And did the parents ask the department to place the children there?
I believe so, yes.
Are there any health concerns coming up, any appointments, medical or dental, that you're aware of?
No.
As far as school activities, what school activities are the kids in?
Elena has started, let me pull it up. She is wanting to play basketball, and she loves playing softball too. I don't think it's softball season yet, but she did get to be cheerleader during football season in the little bitty football games. So they are busy going back and forth to all her practices and stuff. Alethea, she is not doing any extracurricular activities right now. She stated she did not want to play softball this year. So they have spent most of their time taking Elena to different practices.
And are the girls involved in any other type of extracurricular or normalcy type activities?
Anything when the family gets together, they're included. So just family outings, family get-togethers, things as such as that.
Okay. And there have been several family tragedies recently, is that correct?
Correct.
So tell us about that. Have the girls had to been able to attend family gatherings at funerals recently?
They did not attend the funeral.
Okay.
I think it was their uncle.
Okay. And was it their placement that made that decision?
Yes.
As far as visits, let's talk about visitation. So first of all, let's talk about we had a hearing in December, is that correct?
Correct.
And at that hearing, did the court order a 3-hour visit for the children at Christmas?
Yes.
And was that visit originally to be set in the home of Mr. and Miss Cooper?
Yes.
What happened?
The lady that watches the visit.
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Hannah, the lady that watches the visits normally, came down with the flu. And so she was not able to watch any visit on Monday, the 23rd of December.
Okay, so what alternative, what were the parents' concerns about having the visit at their home on that day?
They did not want me in the home. They had planned initially to have the visit in their home, but they would not allow me in the home. And I was going to watch the visit since Hannah was sick.
So when you found out that they wouldn't allow you in the home, what alternative resolution did you provide them to still have a Christmas visit?
We offered to have their visit at the local Dairy Queen in Floydada, so they could still have their 3-hour visit with the girls.
And what time was the visit supposed to be?
The one that we had at the Dairy Queen, that we
Yes.
planned at the Dairy Queen, 3 o'clock.
And did you pick up the girls?
No, the placement brought them to the Dairy Queen.
Okay. Okay. But you also went to the Dairy Queen to supervise that visit. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And did you communicate with the parents after the visit was supposed to start?
Yes, through a group text we did.
And you had told them earlier that day that the visit was going to be at Dairy Queen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Why did you pick Dairy Queen?
It's less than maybe a half a mile walking distance from their home. They're in Floydada.
And is that because transportation is a problem?
Right.
So were you and the girls at Dairy Queen at 3 o'clock?
Yes.
And how long did you wait?
We were there until 3:40.
Okay. And did you and the girls get an ice cream or something at Dairy Queen?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Okay, so you weren't just sitting at a empty table, y'all were waiting on ice cream and stuff. Did you communicate with the parents that y'all were waiting?
Correct. Yes, we did.
And what was their response to you?
That they were not going to do their visit at the Dairy Queen. They stated they had gifts and food cooked at the house, and they would not be coming to the Dairy Queen for the visit.
But it had been communicated to everybody, is that correct? That it would be impossible to have the visit at their house that day.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor, leading again.
Overruled. She's just asking a question. She's not leading her down a path.
So it's fair to say that it was not a surprise to the parents that their visit was going to be at 3 o'clock at Dairy Queen on the day before Christmas, or the 2 days before Christmas.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Since that time, have they had a visit with the girls?
Yes.
And when is their visits?
I believe they're either Wednesday or Thursday evening in their home on a weekly basis.
Okay. And are you clear as to why the parents refused to allow you into their home?
No, I'm not.
Have they told you why?
Alvin just states he doesn't want me in the home.
And is that because Alvin doesn't want you to be his caseworker?
Probably.
And have you been able to review the notes from even previous cases and previous interactions that we have with this family?
Yes.
Is it unusual for them to ask for a new caseworker?
No, it's not.
And so St. Francis, when Mr. Cooper asked for a new caseworker, St. Francis denied him because you've been the caseworker for these girls for the duration of this case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And to this day, the Coopers refuse to allow you to come into their home. Is that correct?
Yes.
But somebody else from St. Francis goes to the home to watch the visits.
Correct.
Who is that?
Hannah. Kid.
Okay. And so on a regular basis, those visits are happening and they are able to happen in these parents' homes for now, right? As long as they allow Hannah into the home to supervise. Is that correct?
Correct.
Is it your understanding that all visitation has been ordered to be supervised?
Yes.
Okay. So going forward for right now, are there any changes that you would request made to visitation, or is it working right now?
It is working.
Okay. Let's talk about services. Let's start with Mr. Cooper. Has he been given a service plan?
He has, yes.
And that service plan was ordered by this court?
Yes.
And every hearing that we've had, the court has reiterated that order. Is that correct?
Yes.
What services has Mr. Cooper initiated?
He has initiated family counseling. He has gone for 1 drug test. He has maintained regular supervised visits. And I believe that is all.
What else is he ordered to do?
He is ordered to maintain a legal source of income, maintain appropriate residence, which he has since they lived in the same home for several years, to refrain from, criminal activity, to complete a parenting class, to participate in a drug assessment if a drug test comes back positive, to participate in individual counseling, and have face-to-face contact with permanency specialists a minimum of once a month.
He is also ordered to do random drug testing. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And when was the last time you asked him to take a drug test?
In December.
And did he take it?
Yes.
Okay. As to counseling, have you attempted to set Mr. Cooper up with individual counseling?
Yes.
And tell me about your attempts.
Initially, I was able to contact Peggy Skinner. She was going to do individual, or I asked her to set up individual with Alvin and Amy. She tried to schedule that with them, and Alvin refused to. Alvin and Amy both refused to make an appointment for individual counseling.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's your grounds for your objection?
The caseworker's misquoting.
Okay, well, you're going to be able to ask her questions in a moment.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So I will
Yes, ma'am.
overrule, but you can ask in a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Do you want me to continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And then I was able to find a gentleman by the name of Jorge Ivan. They had an initial visit with him December 23rd. And then they have met with him twice once on December 30th and once January 6th. And each appointment has been marriage counseling. Individual counseling has been offered but refused.
Why is individual counseling important in this case?
So each individual person can look at themselves, talk it out with a counselor, and decide what that person needs to work on to improve to make their children's home a happy home.
And the parents' issues are fairly separate. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why did this case start?
Domestic violence between the mother and the father, and then drug use with the mother.
Objection, Your Honor. The caseworker and so does Ms. Ferguson know that those cases has been dismissed and never been filed.
You're talking about the criminal part of this, sir. She's just alluding to why your children were removed.
And that
Overruled. You can ask those questions in a minute.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Cooper, what services do you continue to try to set Mr. Cooper up for?
Individual counseling. Try to do face-to-face contact with him so we can go over his service plan again. I will be asking them to drug test again in January. I will be asking to come into the home to make sure the home continues to be safe. I will be trying to get him to sign a release so we can set him up for a drug assessment since his December drug test was positive. And I believe, and continue to look for legal employment.
Okay. Let's talk about Miss Hernandez Cooper. What services has she been asked to do?
She's been asked to refrain from criminal activity, find a legal source of income, an appropriate residence, maintain regular supervised visits, participate in parenting class, do monthly random drug testing. If anything's positive, to sign up for a drug assessment, attend individual counseling and family therapy if recommended, to participate in a psychological evaluation, have face-to-face contact with permanency specialist, and to go back to the OSAR to sign a release so we can get that information when OSAR is completed.
And an OSAR is a drug and alcohol assessment. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
What services does she still need to complete?
We have asked her to return to individual counseling so we can get a recommendation. She did participate in individual counseling, but at the end, the counselor would not provide any recommendation. So we have asked her to go back to individual.
And Ms. Cooper, let me stop you there. What actually did the counselor respond to you? Did the counselor tell you that she was done with counseling?
She said that she could not help her anymore.
Oh, and the department views that as a need for more counseling. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that why you've asked her to do more individual counseling?
Yes.
And do you believe that individual counseling is as important as family counseling in this case?
Absolutely, yes.
Why?
Like we discussed earlier, so each person can look at themselves, become responsible for their part in this case, and take steps to improve that so they can get CPS out of their life and don't have CPS in their life in the future.
And in most of how long have you been with the department and then with St. Francis?
6 years.
And in your 6 years that you've been doing this, is almost every single family asked to do individual counseling?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because I think anyone can benefit from counseling, but someone that has CPS in their lives, they may have additional reasons that could benefit from counseling. Each one of them is different, but the parents can still, accept responsibility of their actions and try to improve their actions so to eliminate CPS from their lives.
And Ms. Hooper, let me ask you, in your interactions with the parents in this case, have they taken any responsibility for the reason that their children are in care right now?
No.
Objection,
And is
Your
that
Honor.
one of the things that you would be asking them to address in individual counseling?
Yes.
Your Honor, I raised the objection to leading question again. The fact of the matter is she's questioned her on the thoughts and the thinking of the parents, and Ms. Harper is not a qualified professional to make that judgment.
Well, then I will sustain your objection. Go ahead, Ms. Ferguson.
Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes.
I would ask the court to consider Ms. Hooper as a layperson expert in this. She's been doing it for 6 years. She's seen countless numbers of service plans. When asked why certain things are on service plans, I do believe she's an expert in that matter.
I'm going to go ahead and sustain it. Thanks.
Ms. Hooper, is there anything else contained in your court report that the court needs to consider today?
Since my court report was completed, Amy has provided check stubs for her part-time job. She has not provided any AANA class, registrations, but she has provided the check stubs that her and I talked about. She did do a face-to-face with me in January, just last week. And so we were able to go over her family plan and discuss that.
Okay. Ms. Hooper, are there any plans for the children that the court needs to know about?
No.
Coming up?
No.
Okay. What is the current permanency plan in this case?
Family reunification?
And are you asking that the court approve that permanency plan today going forward?
Yes.
Are you asking that the court approve continuing placement of the children and the continued temporary managing conservatorship of the department while the parents work the services they've been ordered to work?
Yes.
And do you believe that it is a continuing danger to the children to not be placed with the parents at this time?
Yes.
And how is that?
The issues for the reason the case was opened have not been addressed. They have not taken responsibility and working through individual counseling to hopefully
Objection, Your Honor.
remedy
Again, the caseworker is testifying on her opinion and not on facts of law.
I overrule your objection. She has every right to make her recommendation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ms. Hooper, you can continue if you remember where you were.
I don't remember where I was. I'm sorry.
Okay. I had asked you if it's a continuing danger. Let me change. How have the parents not addressed the issues that brought the children into care?
We have asked them to participate in individual counseling. At this point, they have refused to do that, which I think would be beneficial to both of the parents.
And in fact, how many sessions have they had of family counseling?
The initial visit, I don't know if that was just an intake or if they actually did a counseling session, but if that was a counseling session, that would be 3 total.
And how long has this case been open?
Since this summer.
Your Honor, at this time I pass the witness.
Ms. Riley, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so Ms. Hooper, I want to start off with just where we ended with the parenting classes, all right? Or the not parenting, but family counseling, okay?
Mhm.
All right, now, there was not a referral for family counseling until December, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so when we're talking about when the case was open, it's not as if Ms. Hernandez was ordered to do family counseling and she just sat around until December. She wasn't even asked to do it until then, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And once she was asked to do it, she did enroll in those family counseling classes, right?
Yes.
And she has attended.
Yes.
Okay. Now, back when the case started, let's talk about another thing. You were asked a question about whether or not any of the parents have indicated any, and I can't remember if it was remorse or responsibility for the reasons why their kids were taken. Do you remember that?
Yes,
Okay. And I believe you stated no, they had not. Is that right?
that's correct.
Okay. Isn't it true that Miss Hernandez, though, has actually absolutely taken responsibility for using drugs again, for relapsing, and has over and over said she understands that that was her fault and she's willing to work on that?
Yes, she has said
Okay.
that.
And that was one of the major things that led to the children's removal, right? Was that she relapsed.
Yes,
Okay. So it would be correct that she has accepted responsibility for that, right?
she has accepted responsibility of her drug use. Yes.
Okay. And indicated she's regretful about it, right?
Yes.
And indicated a really deep desire to not use again and to try to remain sober for her children.
Yes.
Okay. So she has done every drug test that you've asked her to do. Is that right?
Let me double check.
Okay.
September. Yes, she has.
Okay. And other than her initial screening, like the hair follicle, everything else has come back negative. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Now let's talk about the OSAR. She has not done the OSAR yet. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Part of that, though, is because no one from that, I mean, there was a problem, right, with the referral to the OSAR and then a delay in terms of getting the people that do the OSAR to call her, right?
There's still an issue with that.
Okay. Can you tell me what is that issue? Like what's going on? Why is there such a delay?
Initially, before I had her sign the OSAR paperwork, I have emailed the OSAR representative multiple times with no response. I asked the Amarillo people if I could have the OSAR done through Amarillo, and they refused, stating they were not allowed to do cases in the southern part of the Panhandle. So I could only go through Lubbock. So finally, I learned the name of the supervisor of the representative for the OSAR and emailed them both along with my supervisor. And the supervisor and the OSAR rep finally replied. I had Amy sign her paperwork. I sent that paperwork to the OSAR people, and the representative said it will be about at least 2 weeks and before I contact her to make an appointment. Yesterday, my supervisor contacted them and said, "Why have you not contacted Ms. Hernandez?" And the representative said that she had been on leave for a week or two, and she expected to make contact with all of the people that need an appointment by the end of this week or the first of next week. So
Okay.
we have just had horrible luck getting a hold of the people, and then Amarillo would not see us because we're the south part of the Panhandle. So I don't have an answer for it. It's just they are not answering. They weren't answering my emails. It's gotten a little better, but not what we would like to see for sure.
Right. And Ms. Hooper, accepting what happened, absolutely. And not saying that it was anything that you did that caused this, but you would agree with me that Ms. Hernandez does not have any part in the delay of getting this OSAR done, correct?
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
And I'm only asking. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I'm only asking because if we're talking about her not doing her services as a reason not to give her kids back, I think it's important that we talk about whether or not she's the reason we're not doing them or not. Okay.
Right.
All right. So the OSAR again, still now there is a problem. Well, withdrawn. Okay. Let's talk about individual counseling. My client, Ms. Hernandez, went out on her own and found a counselor immediately after the filing of this case. Is that correct?
She found her own counselor. Is that what you're stating?
Yes. And she did that right after this case was filed.
Shortly after, not right
Right.
after, but shortly. Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
And she engaged in counseling with Melissa Lawson, is that right?
correct.
Okay. Now I'm a little bit confused and I was hoping you could clarify. In terms of a recommendation, what recommendation is it that you wanted the counselor to make?
We wanted a recommendation one way or the other. Do you recommend additional visitation? Do you recommend unsupervised visitation? Do you recommend reunification? What do you recommend?
Okay.
And she said she does not do recommendations. So we were looking for any kind of recommendation that she felt comfortable giving.
Okay.
Either, you know,
Right. And now I
negative
understand.
or
But
positive.
okay. But so the order that was given though to Ms. Hernandez was to go to individual counseling. Is that right?
Correct.
So she did that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And so there was nothing in the court order that said she specifically had to go to a counselor that would eventually give some sort of recommendation about visitation, right?
Correct.
Okay. So as far as Ms. Hernandez knew, she was cooperating with the agency by going to individual counseling.
With Miss Lawson. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Now, Ms. Hernandez has expressed to you frustration about having to, what she feels like is redoing individual counseling. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. Because she feels like she has to do what she already did just because the counselor won't give a recommendation.
Yes.
All right. Now, has Miss Lawson, you stated that Miss Lawson told you I can't help her anymore. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. You haven't filed any reports from Miss Lawson. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So we don't have anything in writing from Miss Lawson that says whether or not how Miss Hernandez was doing in counseling, what she was doing in counseling, any progress she made, or anything else.
Your Honor,
I'm
gonna object to the characterization. We don't have anything filed.
Well, okay, let me ask, do you have anything in writing from Miss Lawson at all?
Are you talking to me or?
Yes.
Pamela?
Yes, Ms.
Oh, I'm
Hooper.
sorry. Yes, we do have it in writing.
Okay, so you do have some kind of report from Miss Lawson in writing.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And does Miss Lawson talk about progress that Miss Hernandez made?
Yes.
Okay. And does she state that Miss Hernandez made progress while in counseling?
Yes.
Okay. Does she state that Miss Hernandez attended counseling?
Yes.
Okay. So does she say in that written report, I just can't help her anymore?
In the email, yes, she does.
She does. And so what exactly does she say? Well, I'm sorry, do you have a report or an email?
Both.
Okay. So in the report, does it say, I just can't help her anymore?
In the report, no, ma'am.
Yes. No, it does not. Okay. But evidently there was an email that came with the report.
I emailed her. Yes, she emailed me the recommendation. And then I mean, not the recommendation, the letter.
Okay.
And I asked her for a recommendation. And that's when she told me she does not provide a recommendation.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that I'm clear. Was Miss Lawson stating, I can't help her anymore? And I don't know if you clarified this. So if you didn't and you don't know, then that's fine. But was Miss Lawson saying, I can't help her because, I can't do anything else with her? Or was she saying, I can't help her because I will never give a recommendation no matter what?
She stated that she could not do anything else with her to help her.
Right. But again, did you clarify whether or not that meant help her with a recommendation or help her in counseling?
No, she stated that she would not give I think it's their practice not to give recommendations, not just on Ms. Hernandez, just in general.
Okay.
And I was not aware of that when she first spoke to Ms. Lawson, or I would have encouraged her to find another counselor.
Right. Well, it's not a requirement though that a counselor say whether or not they think visitation is allowed, right?
It's not required, but we rely heavily on the counselors.
Well, and I understand, and certainly it might be something but there are other factors that go into it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about the face-to-face contact with you. Other than Christmas, and I want to talk about that separately, but other than Christmas, she's had all of the face-to-face contacts with you that she's been required to. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And including this last face-to-face, she rearranged her schedule so that she could meet with you, right?
Yes.
But again, and I know this is unfortunate, but you were nice enough to make arrangements to do that outside of the house because Alvin would not allow you in the house. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. All right. In terms of visits, supervised visits, every visit except for Christmas, Ms. Hernandez has made. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. In terms of the residence, I believe you've already stated the residence is fine.
Right.
Okay. And even though you have not been in the house recently, Hannah has not indicated anything to you that she has concerns about the house when she comes for visits.
Right.
Okay. And is that something you would expect that Hannah would tell you if she saw something in the house that was troubling?
Yes.
Okay. Now another thing was no criminal behavior, and that you're aware of. We don't have any new criminal behavior, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then the employment, she did provide you records regarding the job that she has. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then, and I may have lost it, but I think, okay, so I think that's, have I covered everything that she was ordered to do?
Psychological was completed several months ago.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that one. So she's done that and that was completed, right?
Yes, that was completed.
Okay. So other than the ongoing need that the department feels is necessary for individual and family counseling, and the OSAR that can't get started for some reason, but that's not Ms. Hernandez's problem, she's done everything the agency has asked her to do.
Correct.
Okay. Now let's talk about Christmas. Who is it that informed you that you were not allowed in the house?
Alvin.
Okay. Who was it that indicated that they would, well, did you speak on that day of that visit? Did you speak to both Ms. Hernandez and Mr. Cooper?
It was in the group text. Yes.
It was in the group text. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what day was that visit?
It was scheduled for December 23rd. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes. Okay. So it was December 23rd. What time was it originally supposed to be when it was at their house?
I don't know.
Okay. When was Ms. Hernandez first made aware that Hannah was not going to be able to be there?
I believe the whole group text started Monday morning of the 23rd.
Okay.
When we knew she wasn't going to be able to do it.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. So as of the 22nd, Ms. Hernandez thought the girls are coming to my house tomorrow. They're going to have 3 hours with me at my house. We're going to open presents. We're going to cook dinner. That's what we're going to do.
Yes.
Then in the morning, that's not going to happen, right? Well, at least originally what they were told is Hannah can't be there, but you can still have your visit with Lisa.
Yes.
Okay. And you were kind enough, you were not normally scheduled to do that, but you were kind enough to do that to make sure they got their visit. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And then Mr. Cooper said, you're not coming to our house, right?
Correct.
Okay. And so then that's when we made the second arrangements.
Correct.
All right. Is it fair to say that Ms. Hernandez expressed to you being upset that, these Christmas plans had been canceled?
Yes, they both did.
Right. And that she was, frustrated that no one else from the agency could come out so that she could have that visit with her kids at her house.
Correct.
Did she express to you that it was upsetting to have to do Christmas in the middle of a Dairy Queen?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, though, now, you said in terms of NA that you didn't have, she's required to attend NA and AA, and you don't have any documentation of that. Did Ms. Hernandez express to you that it's difficult to get documentation from NA programs about attendance because online NAs often don't do that?
She did not tell me that.
She did not. Okay. Are you aware of difficulties that NA programs are, difficulties that it is to get those kinds of documentations from other cases?
No.
You haven't experienced that?
No.
Okay. How many NA AA meetings is she required to attend?
At least once a week until she can participate in the OSAR.
Until when? I'm sorry?
She can participate in that drug assessment.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that will tell us more.
But in terms of what we're aware of from drug tests, Ms. Hernandez has now been sober for 5 months?
Yes.
All right. But the agency still requires her to do an OSAR even though she's been sober for 5 months.
Yes.
All right. Pass the witness.
Okay. Mr. Cooper, you can ask questions. They have to be, excuse me, in the form of a question. I will stop you if you're not acting as an attorney, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You may ask questions. Please don't repeat questions that have already been asked.
Okay, Ms. Harper. Let's go back to how this case originated. How did this case originate? How did the department get involved?
You called CPS, didn't you?
And the reason why I called CPS?
And Your Honor, can I just clarify? That's been testified to at multiple hearings. That's not a.
Yes. So you have a point for this, Mr. Cooper? I mean, we're in the middle of a case that's already been going on for 6 months.
Yes, ma'am. The point is, Your Honor, I'm showing that there's no abuse and neglect on the father's part or the mother's part, and therefore I have to ask the caseworker how the case originated to establish that point.
Well, we're beyond that because the department's already had temporary custody for 6 months. So why we're here is not the point. You don't have to convince me. I can't go back in and do that. What I need to do is go from what's been happening since the children were removed. Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. All right. I reframe a question. Ms. Harper, is it true this case started by the father calling CPS because the mother had drug relapse? Am I correct? Ms. Harper?
I said correct.
Okay. And therefore, by the father taking that responsibility, you understand, he's looking out for the safety and welfare of his daughters. Am I correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. We're not here to judge. We are here to get your children back for you, Mr. Cooper. I don't need to relitigate what happened in the beginning.
Okay, Ms. Harper, being that the father had requested CPS, you know what I'm saying, and there's no abuse and neglect on the father, why was the department?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness is testifying. Those are facts. They're not in evidence.
Sustained. You can only ask questions. You can't testify.
Ms. Harper, why would the department ask for services from the father when there's no case against the father?
Because you and Amy are a couple. And as long as you remain a couple, it reflects on both of you.
So therefore, the individual counseling that you requested of the father wasn't because of something the father did, was because the father was tied to the mother.
Your Honor, I'm going to kind of say that this calls for a legal conclusion. There have been findings of abuse and neglect on both parents in multiple different orders.
Sustained.
Your Honor, may I make an objection to that? Can we have a sidebar, please?
We don't need a sidebar, everybody. There's not a jury.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. The reason why I asked that, you know what I'm saying, because Ms. Perkins just misquoted. There's never been abuse and neglect found in this case.
Well,
There's never been.
And Your Honor, I would ask the court to take judicial notice of the temporary order hearing, the status order hearing, and we don't have the order from the hearing in December, but that there was also a hearing on this issue in December as well.
And the status hearing, Your Honor, I was not present there, so I wasn't aware the services was being implemented, or I would have objected to those services planned at that time. Ms. Ferguson is aware that I was not at that status hearing.
And Judge, I'm going to object just because we're not questioning anymore. I think this has devolved into speaking.
Mr. Cooper, you're your own attorney, sir. You can ask Ms. Hooper questions. You can make a closing argument and you can argue all your points, but you don't get to make it in the middle of testimony.
No, ma'am. I was asking Ms. Harper a question and I'm not allowed to ask that question.
Well, no, you weren't. You were testifying that your hands are clean in this. And that's not the issue. The issue is if you are a couple with the mother of these children, then you are tied together as to services. That is the way the law reads.
Oh,
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes, ma'am.
there
I got
you go.
it. Okay. Now, Ms. Harper, was there ever any finding of abuse and neglect in this case upon the father's part?
Your Honor, that calls for a legal conclusion. I would ask the court to instruct Mr. Cooper to move on to a different line of questioning.
And Judge, I would object and just say that there are findings from the court that state that this court can take judicial notice of, that state that this court has found abuse and neglect against both Mr. Cooper and Ms. Hernandez, which resulted in the children being removed. And if Mr. Cooper does not have those documents, because I understand that he just, in our pre-hearing conference, I am happy to send him that document, and I'm sure Ms. Ferguson would be as well, if he has not seen those. But this is not, I agree with Ms. Ferguson, this is not something we should be having this hearing on at this point.
So Mr. Cooper, these are officers of the court. They basically put their license on the line when they make these statements to me. And so I'm going to take them at their word because I've not been the judge previously in this. They will send you the documents that you're requesting. All right?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Ms. Harper, What is the abuse?
It's Miss Hooper.
Ms. Hooper, what is the abuse neglect that you found? What abuse neglect has the father done?
Objection, Your Honor. We are continuing on the same line of questioning. I would ask that Mr. Cooper's questions be limited to the matters of a permanency hearing, just so that we can finish this hearing today. And that would be what services have been ordered, what services are continued, any visitation issues.
Your Honor, if I may, the reason why I'm asking that question, because the services that everybody's referring to, I was not present at that hearing, so I have no idea of why those services was even ordered by the
Sir,
department.
if you were incarcerated, I have no way to correct that. You had counsel, you have run your counsel off, so I don't know what he knows. And basically, we have to go with this hearing, and this hearing is strictly what they call an initial permanency hearing to see if the parties have been doing what they're supposed to do.
Okay, Your Honor, then I will revise my question. Ms. Harper, let's talk about the visitation on the 23rd, and we'll come back to everything else. On the 23rd, was you aware that the father had communicated with you and the supervisor and all the attorneys a week beforehand that you were not welcome on our property or in our home?
Yes.
So it was a week in advance before the visit. Am I correct?
Maybe. I don't know exactly the day that you communicated that.
Okay, there's a group text that involved all the attorneys. Am I correct?
Correct.
And we can refer to that group text. And if the group text shows that this was discussed, including Ms. Devereaux, who texted the father back, that the caseworker and only the caseworker was not allowed on the property or in their home.
Is that a question or a statement?
That's a question.
Can you rephrase it, please?
Okay. Was it not clarified from you and your supervisor that you were not welcome in the father's home and the mother's home on their property?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this being asked and answered.
Yes, that's asked and answered. You've already asked and that's been answered, sir.
No,
Move on.
Okay.
Move on.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Yes, ma'am, I will. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Okay, Ms. Harper. So therefore, before the 23rd and before Ms. Hannah texted you that morning that she was sick, you was aware that you were not allowed, it was being disputed of your presence in the home and the property of the parents.
Mr. Cooper, let's nip this in the bud. It sounds like the person who was going to supervise your Christmas visit got sick, and that happens. And it is the 23rd of December, and this lady probably was off, as everybody else was in the state of Texas, and volunteered to come help. You didn't want her help, so that this is just a victim of circumstances. Nobody did this on purpose to you, sir. Believe me.
Ms. Harper.
Hooper is her name.
Ms. Hooper. I'm sorry, Ms. Hooper. So why didn't you reschedule the visit knowing that it was disputed between you and the family of your present in the home?
Because I knew that Hannah would not be available on the 26th or the 27th either. And so we wanted to go ahead and get you your visit, and I was the only one available.
But why didn't you reschedule if there was a dispute?
You just answered that question.
Okay.
There was nobody there the rest of that week.
Okay.
You would have had to wait.
That's fine. Why did you not visit instead of rescheduling?
We wanted you to have the visit the week of Christmas and not make you wait.
However, Ms. Hooper, is Dairy Queen a proper place to have a 3-hour visit with the children when there's no area to entertain the children at?
Yes.
Therefore, you want the parents to walk from their home to Dairy Queen with the presents and the food to have a 3-hour visit.
If that's the only way you can see your kids, yes.
And the parents did not want that, so it was being disputed. Am I correct?
Can you say that again, please?
The parents did not want to walk to Dairy Queen, and it was being disputed. So, am I correct?
I believe you were asked if there were other places you would go other than Dairy Queen.
No, ma'am, I'm thinking correct, but that's all right. Ms. Hooper, I'm sorry. So therefore, if we look back at those group texts that was being back and forth, it would show that the parents was requesting that since you weren't allowed in the home, it was being disputed, that the visit be rescheduled. Am I correct?
No.
It's not in the group text. It's nowhere in the group text from you or your supervisor to reschedule the visit.
I'd have to go back and look. I don't recall that being in there.
Mr. Cooper, what we're going to do here now, you have totally strayed from the if you'll go back and read the Texas Family Code, which if you're going to represent yourself, I would recommend you do. This hearing is strictly to see if all of the requirements are being met. And if the goal is reunification, how we get there. This is not to an inquiry. If you want to have a hearing in front of Judge Baker where you get to crucify everybody, sir, you can do that. This is not that hearing. I understand that was a messed up deal. I assume you finally got to see your children. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
Okay. So I need you to move on and you can take this up at a later date. This is not the proper hearing for this. Go look it up. Texas Family Code. This is a hearing strictly for procedure. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Ms. Harper, why was the father objecting to do the services?
Objecting to do the services?
Yes, ma'am.
Because he feels he hasn't done anything wrong.
Okay. Has the department in any of this manner determined that the father had did anything wrong to abuse and neglect his children?
Your Honor, I'm going to object again.
That's already been dealt with, sir, in previous hearings. These are questions as to for today. Please proceed.
Miss Harper, can you state why the father told you that services wasn't needed?
Your Honor, I'm going to object. That calls for a speculation.
You know what, Mr. Cooper, what I would do is suggest that you come up with the money and get a court reporter to give you all of the hearing notes. You can sure request that any of the hearings that you missed, you can see what's been testified to. We don't go back and litigate. Okay. So if you want to ask her questions as to what your services are and what you need to do or why you need to do it, then do that, please.
Okay. Miss Harper, did not the Department of St. Francis make these services up?
Can you restate that? I didn't understand you.
Did not the Department and St. Francis draw the required services up due to their policy and procedures?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in that policy and procedure, to request services from the parents, there has to be a show of abuse and neglect.
Your Honor, I'm going to object again. The court has ordered the service plan. The court has ordered the service plan multiple hearings.
Yes, it's been made an order of the court.
That's incorrect.
You cannot undo what the court's already made an order of. You either you need to work your service plan.
That's incorrect. That's incorrect, Judge. That's incorrect, Judge. I've never been ordered a service plan.
Yes, you have, sir. You may not have been present, but you had an attorney and you were ordered to do it.
And Your Honor, if you don't mind if I just correct the record briefly.
Sure, please.
Although Mr. Cooper was not present at that initial hearing, Mr. Barfield actually filed, when Mr. Cooper was available, he filed a motion for an emergency return to the father on the basis that Mr. Cooper was not available. And so he asked the court, in essence, to review its earlier determination of abuse and neglect because Mr. Cooper had not had a chance to be there. Mr. Cooper was present at that hearing. There were witnesses called, and the court still after that continued to make a finding of abuse and neglect, kept the temporary managing conservatorship with the department and ordered services.
So it's already been litigated.
And I just wanted to clarify, not only at the hearing he was not present for, but then there was a secondary sort of quasi hearing that was done with the agreement of the parties.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. May I say something, Your Honor? That's incorrect. The judge did not. Well, okay. Well, we'll take that further somewhere else. I'll pass as witness, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. And then Ms. Wright, I'm sorry, Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
Briefly, Your Honor, are the children on any psychotropic medications?
No, ma'am.
So they don't need to be reviewed every 30 days?
Correct.
Are they up to date on their medical and dental?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are the children receiving any counseling or other mental health services at this time?
Yes, they are receiving counseling, and the psych evaluations are scheduled. I think was yesterday. That should have been done 2 months ago, but the communication between me and the doctor was mixed up, and so they get a psychological evaluation. I think yesterday.
Okay, but you haven't gotten the results of that yet, have you?
No, ma'am, I have not.
Okay, whenever you receive those, will you, distribute those to the attorneys?
Absolutely.
And the girls are in a safe and appropriate placement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do they report that they're happy and well adjusted there?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you. Any follow-up, Ms. Ferguson?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I would just ask the court to make the appropriate findings.
I have a follow-up question, Your Honor, if I may.
It better be a question, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Miss Hooper, am I correct? Miss Hooper, has the children stated anywhere that they did not want to come home to the father and the mother?
No, they have not.
Matter of fact, they have told y'all they're ready to return home. Am I correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to hearsay.
She answered your question that they state they want to come home.
Okay. Miss Hooper, also, is it true that during the Christmas visit, the daughters told the visitation monitor that they were ready to come home?
I wasn't there. I can't tell you if they told her that or not.
Has the visitation monitor gave you all her notes?
Not yet. No.
Okay, nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone for Ms. Hooper? Thank you. Any other witnesses, Ms. Ferguson?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Ms. Riley, any witnesses?
Judge, I know this is a little unorthodox, but I would ask if Mr. Hernandez wants to testify at this hearing.
Ms. Hernandez, if you would unmute and or do you want to talk to her in a room?
I don't think that's necessary. Well, that just depends. If she doesn't want to testify, then I would just like that on the record, Judge. Just
Okay.
for my, yeah.
So Ms. Hernandez, could you unmute, please?
Okay.
You do want to testify or no?
Hold on, give me a second. Sure.
So Ms. Hernandez, you were present and heard when I went through your services with Ms. Hooper, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so we'll just briefly run through them, but you have not engaged in any criminal behavior since this case started. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you do have a job
I do.
and you provided those pay stubs to Ms. Hooper.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you live in the same residence that you have for a long time, right?
Yes.
Okay. You've, other than the Christmas visit, you've gone to all of your supervised visits that you've with the children that have been allowed to you.
Yes.
Okay. You completed your parenting class. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You've done every random drug test that's been asked of you.
Yes, ma'am.
And they've all come back negative except for at the beginning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You did individual counseling with Miss Lawson. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're now engaged in family therapy. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And have you expressed to that counselor that you're willing to do individual counseling with him as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So have you told Miss Hooper that?
No, I have not.
Okay. But you are willing to, on the record here today before the judge, say that if the same parenting therapist will do individual counseling with you, you are happy to do that, correct?
Yes.
And maybe happy is the wrong word. You wish you didn't have to do it again because you feel like you did it with Miss Lawson, but if that's what it takes to get the girls back, you'll do it. Is that right?
Well, what I wish would have happened at the beginning of the conversation she had with Ms. Lawson when she made the contract with her was that if she gave recommendations for reunification and not waited 6 months.
Right. And again, I kind of just quickly said that, but you wish that you weren't doing it again, but if that's what it takes, you'll do it.
If that's what it takes. However, the counselor, Dr. Ibarra, the new one, said that couples counseling, he'll give recommendation with just marriage counseling. I didn't necessarily have to take individual counseling. That's something the department has asked me to do.
Okay, I understand. The psychiatric evaluation or psychological evaluation you did, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've done your face-to-face visits with Ms. Hooper, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then as far as the NAAA meetings, you forwarded some receipts to me this week that showed that you had attended those meetings. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you able to forward those to Ms. Hooper as well?
I did.
Okay. Well, if she doesn't have them for some reason, can you re-forward them to her in a
Yes,
different
ma'am.
way? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The OSAR, did you finally hear from them?
I did, just right before we had court. I mean, as court was going on, they called.
Okay. And were you able to talk to them, or did you have to put them off because you had to be here for court?
I was able to talk to them, and I am aware that you have to be dirty for more than 30 days to 60 days in order to qualify for that program.
Okay. So are they telling you, did the OSAR services tell you they would not do an OSAR on you?
I told her that we would have I missed her call just now because she was supposed to call me back at 2:30. And so we're gonna finish discussing that about if I should or shouldn't have to do OSAR because I've been sober for so long already.
Okay, but you got some feedback that made it sound like they don't think you need to do it.
Correct.
Okay, but you are still willing to do it as long as they'll do it for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it fair to say you're a little frustrated that it's taken a long time to get OSAR to call you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it fair to say that you would like a chance to make up that 3 hours that you were ordered to get on Christmas?
I would, I really would, because this past visit, the girls wanted to watch Christmas movies. We were opening presents and ordering pizza all at the same time, and 2 hours was not enough. 3 hours probably would have been okay, but yes, ma'am. They expressed to me before Christmas that the Christmas wish was to have to be a family, to be home, and they want to spend just a little bit more time with the parents.
And so, in general, do you feel like with the amount of services that you've completed that you would like to see more visits with your children?
I would like to be reunified with my children because of all the services that I've completed.
Right. And I understand that first and foremost, you're asking for reunification. But if that does not happen, then your next request would be more visitation, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I know this is not what you want, but if the department said, okay, Ms. Hernandez, you've done services, we'll let you see the children, but Mr. Cooper has refused to do them, we're not going to let him, would you be willing to do visits that were by yourself with the girls?
I would.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Ms. Ferguson.
Ms. Hernandez, Cooper, how many sessions did you attend with Ms. Lawson?
Six, hold on. Six sessions.
What did you address with Ms. Lawson? What were the issues that you addressed?
Ms. Lawson addresses drugs, drug recovery for drugs. She also addresses she's a couple therapists.
But Ms. Hernandez, I'm going to stop you. You
Okay.
didn't see her. What did you see her for?
Well, when the department asked me to do counseling, I called Melissa Lawson in front of Lisa. Lisa asked her what services she gave. Lisa felt.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm going to object to non-responsive and rephrase.
Okay.
Okay. So you're going to re-ask?
Yes. Ms. Hernandez, did you work on drug use with Ms. Lawson?
I did.
Do you currently have any type of relapse prevention plan?
I do.
Have you provided that to the department?
No, I haven't.
Did you provide it to Ms. Lawson?
No.
So you didn't work on a relapse prevention plan with Ms. Lawson?
I wasn't aware that the department asked me to do that plan.
Do you understand that is the reason you were asked to do individual counseling, so that you could work on drug use issues and relapse prevention?
Objection, Your Honor. The witness asked and answered.
No, I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Do you understand that that was the purpose of the individual counseling?
Yes.
So do you understand that when the department says that there weren't recommendations, they're not necessarily talking about recommendations for reunification, but also recommendations on if you have a relapse prevention program, if you have a plan in place so that this doesn't happen again for your children?
Objection, Judge. I'm going to say that states things that are not in evidence. There's been no testimony at all that they were seeking any recommendation other than reunification.
Exactly.
Sustained. I mean,
Okay.
you don't have the counselor here to testify. All she can do is
Absolutely, Your Honor. We will. Trust me. Ms. Hernandez, so when you say you have a relapse prevention plan, who did you work on that with?
Myself. I have a plan myself. I don't plan to use drugs. I mean, I see the consequences of
Can you provide your relapse prevention plan to all the parties today?
Well, no.
Do
I don't
you
know
feel
what that
like you
looks
need
I don't even know what you're
assistance?
talking about. I don't even know what that is. I've
Okay.
never even heard of it till today that you're bringing it up.
Do you believe that you've addressed your drug use?
Yes.
And how so?
By showing the department that I could stay clean. By taking parenting classes that address drug abuse. By going to AA meetings, NA meetings.
Isn't it true that you've stayed clean for long periods of time in the past?
Judge, I'm going to object at this point in time because I think that this goes beyond the scope of this hearing. If we're here to talk about her services, she's done the services that she's asked, Judge. And so now we're going back into the past and I would object.
And Your Honor, I would respond that this goes to the heart of individual counseling. And this is the very reason she was asked to do individual counseling and ordered to do individual counseling.
And I object also, Your Honor, because it's going back on the past, you know what I'm saying? And this has nothing to do with the past, it has to do with what's going on right now.
Thank you. It does deal with the fact that relapse is a possibility, so I will allow the question.
Oh, okay. Can you ask me again, please?
So, and I forgot my question. Let me rephrase. Do you object to doing services going forward to work on relapse prevention?
Is that your question? I mean, no, I would not object. I mean, I've done every service that you have asked me to do, including individual counseling that addresses drug abuse.
Okay, so is it your plan to set up individual counseling?
I think that's asked and answered. I mean, I already answered that question.
She did answer. Yes, okay. She can do it with the family counselor if necessary.
Okay, Your Honor, at this time, I pass the witness.
Thank you. And then so, Mr. Cooper, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna call you Amy because that's what I called you at home. Amy, have you had a relapse since this case started?
No.
Have you understand the significance of refraining from any type of drug use? Am I correct?
Yes.
And you would never put drugs above the welfare of our daughters. Am I correct?
I will never put drugs or anything else above my daughters.
And is it true that this whole affair has affected you emotionally?
Objection.
Sustained. That's not the issue.
Okay, Miss Amy, I'm sorry. Miss Hernandez, how has this case affected you?
Objection.
Okay.
You have to be more specific if you're trying to get a certain thing out of her.
I rephrase, Your Honor. Miss Hernandez, is what you asked in the court today is the girls to be returned home after this hearing?
Objection has been answered.
She's already said she wants them.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, you've taken every precaution to make sure that you do not have another relapse. Am I correct?
Yes.
And you can assure the court today that upon the return of our daughters, you would never relapse to drug use again. Am I correct?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
Okay, pass the witness.
And then, Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Anything, back, Ms. Riley?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor. We would rest.
Mr. Cooper, any witnesses?
Yes, ma'am. Myself. Oh, no, first I'd
No,
like to
you-
call me. Oh, I'm sorry.
You can
I'm
make
sorry,
a
Your Honor. First,
statement.
before I testify, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I would like to call Ms. Jasmine Devereaux as a witness.
There is no, oh, Jasmine Devereaux. Okay. That's the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cooper, these are questions only. If you make a statement, I will stop you in your tracks. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Devereaux, did you have a conversation with the father before the visit of the 23rd?
Yes, via text.
And you've been in communication with the father through text messages through this whole procedure, am I correct?
Yes.
And upon the father losing his brother who passed away, the very next day, the father sent out a group text requesting the department respect the grieving of his family. Am I correct?
I remember that text. Yes.
And in those group texts, the father requested that the caseworker be not allowed in his home and on his property. Am I correct?
Yes.
And this conversation took place before, at least a week before the scheduled visit. Am I correct?
Yeah, about a week.
Okay. All right. So the department have had prior knowledge that the caseworker, just the caseworker, was not allowed. Am I correct?
Yes, I knew that you did not want the caseworker in your home.
And it was addressed why the father did not want the caseworker in his home because of prior events. Am I correct?
I don't know what prior events you're talking about.
Okay. Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Riley?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Kincaid?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other witnesses, Mr. Cooper?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. I would like to testify.
Okay, you understand that if you testify in this form, then they can ask you questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can basically make a statement, and then they get to ask you questions. This is going to be very brief, sir, because I don't know what else is left for you to tell the court. Okay, if you start to repeat something, we're done. It shuts down. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I sure do.
Go ahead. Let's hear what you got to say.
Okay. Your Honor, first, the father did not refuse the services that Miss Hooper department requested. The father objected to the services that the department put forth to this court due to the fact the father wasn't status hearing. The father requested the caseworker not be allowed in his home or on his property. That was a right that the father had to request and that the department recognized after the fact.
These are all things that are in evidence, sir. Have you got something new for me?
Okay. The father has never abused and neglected his daughter, first and foremost. Okay.
That's apparently been ruled on by Judge Baker, and I have to go back to Judge Baker on that. So yes, it has been ruled.
Then I would ask the court, you know what I'm saying, to go back and look at those so he can show the father whether abuse and neglect that concern the court so the father can properly address those abuse and neglect.
I do not have access to those, sir. You do have the right as someone representing themselves to ask the court to set you a specific hearing.
And therefore,
And at that time, you can address that with Judge Baker, who has the familiarity of those hearings. Okay, that makes sense to you?
Yes, ma'am, it does. So therefore, here at this status hearing, it's been said that the father has refused services, and I'm letting the court know the reason why the father has objected to the service plan not refused, but objected to it. And those issues have not been addressed by either the department themselves or the court.
Duly noted.
Okay, I'm ready for questions.
Ms. Ferguson, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Riley, any questions?
No.
Ms. Kincaid, any questions?
Very briefly, Your Honor. So you've stated that you object to the services, but you do not refuse the services. Does that mean that you're willing to work the services as ordered?
Well, because I'm objecting to the services per se, then therefore, until those objections being heard, those services should not be applied.
Your Honor, objection non-responsive.
Sustained.
I would like to have my objection heard before the services are implemented, ma'am.
Well, you apparently have had a hearing in front of Judge Baker in which you were given that opportunity and she's already ordered them. So as I said, I do not have any reference for that. I'm sitting in Wichita Falls, Texas, and you're going to have to address that with Judge Baker. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. And the services
I'm very sorry. I do not have access to that. I would move this along faster, but I am not the person to delve into that with because I don't have it.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll ask again. Are you willing to work the services that have been made in order of this court?
Not above my objections, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Thank you. Any other witnesses, Mr. Cooper?
No, ma'am.
Judge, can I just ask one question?
Sure, of course.
Just for my own, thank you. Mr. Cooper.
Yes, ma'am.
You are aware that if you do not work the services that you have been ordered to do, that could result in a termination of your parental rights. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You're aware of that?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Pass the witness.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Kincaid, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, I think this might be the longest initial permanency hearing I've ever had. This is a new record, but hey, so it goes. Basically, with the findings of an initial permanency hearing, we are to set the next hearings in this matter. Unless, of course, Mr. Cooper contacts Ms. Katie and sets another hearing where he would like to relitigate this. That is up to her and Judge Baker. But the next hearing is the second permanency hearing. That is April the 9th. The final at this time is set for July the 7th. At both of those times at 1 o'clock. I want somebody, I don't know who, I don't really care who answers this for me. At this point in time, the visitations are 3 hours a week in the home with the supervised person, I guess, who is an employee of St. Francis. Is that correct?
Your Honor, they are 2 hours a week. They're currently in the home with a like a family services worker from St. Francis.
Okay.
Your Honor, are you recommending that departments keep?
I'm talking. You don't get to ask me questions. I'm asking. Okay. So there's been no disruption in these visits, nothing except for this Christmas debacle. Everything else has been fine. Is that correct? Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Ms. Hooper, is there any reason why these visitations cannot be increased and altered here?
Well, besides Mr. Cooper not starting many services or refusing to do his services, I would not ask for more visitation hours for him. Maybe Amy, but not Mr. Cooper.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The fact that Osar and her, she's been clean this long, they're not going to take her. You know that. You've been around long enough. So that's a moot point. So this visitation's got to get increased. Yes.
I just received the email from the Osar people. They said was informed that they weren't trying to set Amy up for an appointment, but she had this court. Amy agreed to complete the OSAR screening today. Amy did state that she was unsure if she needed OSAR screening since has been sober for 6 months.
Right.
So that'll be that her and I would discuss this at 2:30. She did not show up because she was on here on court.
So she's doing what she's supposed to do, and this has all been drug out because of services issues, right?
Right.
On the OSAR thing. Okay. So we all pretty much know that they're going to talk to her, and it's going to be minimal, whatever it is, if she's been clean this entire time. The family counseling, I'm going to tell you right now, she's done it. I don't care what you guys say. She did her counseling. She did what was ordered. That's what the law says. Okay. So if she can do a little bit of individual with this family counselor that both parents are going to, great. But she does not need to go back through that regime. That is excessive. Okay. She does need a plan, a recovery plan for no relapse. So however that needs to be done in that family counseling situation, that is great. But jumping through a gazillion hoops because it's Christmas time stinks. We're not doing that. Okay. I do want to increase the visitation. I know you guys are all over this with this father, but nobody's done anything. I know he hasn't worked his services, but he's worked enough that he doesn't meet in an O ground here, y'all. So let's get realistic here. Okay. So what kind of visitation increase can we do? And where can we finally get some relief from your worker who's having to do that visitation? The family that the children are staying with they don't want to have anything to do with the visitation. Is that true?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. The kids are playing sports, right?
I think the little one is in practice.
No, she has not, Your Honor. The tryouts hadn't been. I'm sorry. The tryouts for little dribblers has not been posted. It was due to a death of a student.
Okay, you don't need to give me the details. So I want them to be able to attend activities at school. And I don't understand the situation as to somebody coming out and visiting, but and I guess she's paid by St. Francis to do this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Where's my ad litem? You got a suggestion?
Thank you, Your Honor. The girls have expressed a wish to return home. They are safe with family at this time, but they're not too young to be able to express their wishes and give indications that that's their desire. The services for Mr. Cooper are what's concerning. But if we need to move to unsupervised, the girls are old enough to make outcries if there is an issue. And I wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, I think that unsupervised would be that the father is not alone with the children as long as he's not working his services or not completing his services. So I do think it's time. I mean, the plan is still reunification. You're still sitting on your old visitation schedule at the halfway through this case. That doesn't make sense. Okay.
Your Honor, ma'am?
No, just wait a minute. I'm still talking to the ad litem.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
She's the guardian also. So Ms. Kincaid, you have a recommendation?
Well, my recommendation was, department continues, TMC. I was not aware of the Christmas debacle. I became aware of that just before you did. But all the other indications that I get is that visits have been going well, and placement doesn't have issues with the girls after or before the visits either. So if we want to step up Ms. Hernandez, then I think that would be great. She has made an effort, I think quite a good effort to get her services completed.
Okay. All right. So what would your recommendation be?
I don't know. With the parents' transportation issues, I don't know if 2 times a week would be unreasonable for them. 2 hours every week. But if we're still having it supervised by a worker, then I don't know how much help that would be. Or maybe more work for St. Francis.
Right. Well, why don't we do this? Let's do the one supervised, and then let's do an unsupervised. When is the supervised?
I believe it's Friday.
On Fridays?
Is that right, Amy?
Yes, ma'am.
They had initially been Wednesday or Thursday. That one on Friday was for the week of Christmas, I thought. Amy, didn't you ask it to go back?
That's incorrect, Your Honor. If I may,
Okay.
Just tell me what day it's on, sir.
Friday.
It was Friday, ma'am.
Is it every Friday?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay.
Going forward.
And what day do you not work, Ms. Hernandez?
I work every day.
What time do you work?
I work in the evenings, but on my visiting days, I switch from mornings to mornings.
Okay. So what time do you go to work?
From 1 to 5. And on my visiting days, I do my hours in the morning so I could have my visits in the evening.
She's a home healthcare worker, and so she's able to switch her schedule if she has the girls.
Okay.
So I think she's willing to accommodate whatever Your Honor or the agency lets her have.
Okay. Well, then what I'd like to do is have let's do another 2 hours with the person that y'all have. Let's do the Fridays for, until, I don't really want to do that for very long, maybe for another couple of sessions, 2 sessions, just to make sure everything's okay. Parents, can do 2 hours. You need to pick a day that's appropriate for the children and for you. Ms. Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am. I would like for the department to get in touch with the aunt and uncle to see what day would be good for the children.
Okay, so do you think y'all can work that out?
Yes, Your Honor, we can.
Okay, well,
the department.
You get to go to the visits, but you can't be by yourself with the kids. And if they rat you out, then you're in trouble. You understand that?
Okay. Me or
yes, for you,
me?
sir. You haven't done all of your services. I have nothing to. Okay, you understand this? Okay, the mother can be with them by herself. You cannot. Okay, until such time as you've completed your services.
Your Honor, may I say something, please, ma'am?
No, sir. This is my ruling. Okay. They're going to be another 2 hours added, and that will be worked out with the family that has the girls and Miss Hernandez and Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper cannot be alone with the children until such time as he has completed his services. I do find that the mother has substantially complied, but still has some issues as to her recovery grounds and not relapsing. That is basically the huge issue on this one. Okay. So I want to increase that. Y'all need to be headed towards a monitored return here pretty soon. But what this does, Ms. Hernandez, is it gets you ready for the children to come back into your home.
Ma'am, can I say something to you, please?
What?
I don't know what that what I want to know what that looks like, and if the department can help me with that, because this is the first time I'm hearing about the recovery.
No relapse. That's what you're going to talk to us about. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Mm-hmm. That's what you need to tell them. I need you to help me with a relapse program, and that when you get that, then I think you're going to make them all very happy. Correct.
Your Honor, may I make an objection? May I make an objection to your order?
No, sir. You may not.
I can't voice my objection.
You can voice it, but you can voice it, but I don't know what you want to voice about. Sir, you have not complied with the orders of the court. Okay. I've already told you that I have no control over that. That's Judge Baker's order.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm basing an objection on this order regarding the services due to the fact that the father hasn't done anything to services be taken from him.
I believe you took a drug test. Did you not, sir?
Yes,
you want to tell me what that drug test showed?
Positive for marijuana.
Okay, you know what? It's still illegal in this state. Did you know that?
House Bill 567 specifically states that the department cannot remove or investigate children of parents who test positive for marijuana.
That is true, but your children, Mr. Cooper, your children are already in care, and one of your orders states that you are not to use illegal drugs. Marijuana is an illegal drug. Sir, you have no, don't argue with me.
I'm not, Your Honor. I'm going to make an objection. No, I'm going to make an objection. I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to make an objection.
You don't get to object to me ruling. There are no objections at this point. You have not complied. I've told you what you need to do. They're going to send you your orders. They're going to send you the proof of what's been done. Now that you're representing yourself. Okay.
Now, my objection is my attorney, Your Honor. The objection is my attorney as representing myself, Your Honor. I clearly object to your findings due to the fact that this case started by the father taking responsibility and ensure that his kids are not in harm.
Duly noted, sir. Duly noted.
Now, the objection is that the department had no reasons to remove the children from the father because there was no abuse and neglect produced by the father other than he was in jail. My other objection is this whole case started.
I'm going to object. This has been asked and answered. I do have a clarification question for the court.
Yes.
On the unsupervised 2-hour visit, I would ask, is the court allowing the department to set a safety plan and parameters about who can be present, who can't be present?
Oh, the ad litem and a caseworker that can be whoever.
Okay.
Not Miss Hooper, but anybody can drop into the visit.
Okay. And Your Honor, also, I would ask that you're also ordering that safety plan be followed by the parents during their unsupervised contact with the children.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, may I get clarification? So the unsupervised visit, the father's not
Well,
allowed to go.
will this start this week?
No, because they're going to have to talk to
Okay.
the caregivers and find out. So probably next week. Okay.
Okay.
So this week you'll still have your visit with the person that's supervising the 2-hour visit on Friday. You'll still have that. And then y'all will figure out the other 2 hours. And so you're going to have 2-hour sessions. And whenever they drop off the St. Francis person, then you'll have 4 hours a week unsupervised. But that's going to be determined by St. Francis when they drop her off. But right now, you're going to get 2 hours unsupervised every week, starting hopefully next week, depending on when they can work it out with
So
your.
will I be supervising Mr. Cooper then?
You don't have to be supervised. If Mr. Cooper wants to visit with them, he has to be in the room with you. You don't have to have him there for you to visit, but you have to be there if he's there. Okay.
So Judge, clarify for me for a second, please, ma'am. The 2-hour unsupervised visit, you're stating that the father cannot be at that visit.
No, sir, you cannot be by yourself at the visit. You can be there with Miss Hernandez.
Okay, and then I want a clarification. Why can't the father be there by himself?
Because you've tested positive for an illegal substance, sir. That's exactly why.
Your Honor, I just want that ruling on record to say that the marijuana positive results is the reason why. That's all I want.
It's an illegal drug, sir, and you used it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And state legislator has stated clearly.
Judge, I'm just going to object, and I'm sorry, but we've literally been doing this for over 2 hours.
Yes, we have.
I think we have all been very patient, and I understand Mr. Cooper's representing himself, but this is over and over.
I understand. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And Mr. Cooper, we're done.
Yes, ma'am.
We are so done. I am going to give you the statutory warnings, though.
You don't have to, ma'am. I've got this in federal court.
I've got this in federal,
ma'am. I got this in federal
court.
Mr.
Cooper, I'm going to mute you, or you're going to listen.
Mute me, ma'am. Mute me, please.
Rachel, go ahead and mute him, and he can listen. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give you the statutory warnings. You are required by law to work your service plan. If you do not, your rights can be restricted or terminated. Okay, I'm required to say that. I do find that at this point in time, the mother is almost completely in compliance. She's not quite there yet. So there is a continuing danger still, and that reasonable efforts are being made. I have increased the visitation, and that visitation I expect to go very well.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. I'm done with you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. And I am with you also, sir.
Oh my God. Sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Judge, can I just ask, and I can do this after, but Ms. Hooper, would you let OSAR know that she did not intentionally no-show for them, just so that we don't have another delay?
I'm working on an email right now.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Can I just ask for one clarification?
Sure. I know it was sort of interrupted. Go ahead.
Are both 2-hour visits unsupervised?
Not well. The first one, you're going to have one until y'all feel comfortable and everything's okay. But there is going to be a 2-hour one, and then you'll go to 4 hours unsupervised, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, you're telling me, Your Honor, are you saying that you're not returning the kids today?
No, sir, they are not being returned today.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. And then if you'll return that OSAR, Ms. Hernandez, I think we can get a lot of this resolved here very quickly.
Yes, I'm going to send them an email right now.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor. Not from us.
Everybody got their dates?
Yes, Judge, for the record, I need clarification again for the record, if you don't mind, because I want to preserve this for appeal. You're stating that the father and the children are not being returned today due to the father not doing the services, and the father cannot have unsupervised visit due to him not doing services that the department in St. Francis requested. Am I correct?
That is one of the reasons, sir. That's not all of the reasons.
Okay, and then the other reason is because
I already stated it on the record. This hearing is over, sir. Thank you very much. You need to fill out a request for an attorney or hire an attorney, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. God bless you. God bless you.
Ma'am, I just want to say one thing. I was born in Wichita Falls.
I'm gonna kill him. In federal court, I'm gonna kill him. You telling me that you're not returning my kids, you know what I'm saying, just because I tested positive for marijuana. You can't even bring that up.
You stated what you said. Go ahead. I'm sorry, ma'am.
House Bill 567 said clearly.
Judge, I understand that Mr. Cooper doesn't have an attorney, and so I'm going to attempt to do what I think a defense attorney would do, but I believe Mr. Cooper is coming dangerously close to committing a crime right now. I don't know whether or not I heard it clearly, but I believe those were very close to making threats to either the court or to the agency. And I would ask that the court not hold that against Ms. Hernandez, who in no shape or form was doing that and had no part of it. But I would be remiss as a criminal defense attorney to not tell Mr. Cooper that, although I can't give him legal advice, but that he should be silent.
Yes, thank you. And I do appreciate that. And you do need to listen to that, Mr. Cooper.
Oh, I wasn't
Thank
talking.
you.
I wasn't talking to you.
Mr. Cooper, I need you to, we're done. I'm
Judge, I
just
do
gonna
have a right.
stop.
That's not a
Thank
threat.
you.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank y'all. Oh, yes, I got him. Boom.